Chapter 26. Li Ziming reacted quickly, and when Komatsu was about to be attacked by the beasts, he took action and knocked out the little karamis. When I took it and looked at it, it turned out to be something similar to a tadpole, like a frog, but with a tail as long as a snake. Snake frog. Amphibians capture level 1, defeat 3 snake frogs and get 3 points. Isn't this a snake frog? It's a good thing. Its liver is a delicacy. Toriko said with drooling. Li Ziming heard Toriko's praise and said, really? I'm so lucky. Now I can enjoy it. I'm counting on you, Chef Komatsu. At this moment, Komatsu, who had persisted for a long time, sat down on the ground. Ah, I almost thought I was going to die. I feel like my life choices were wrong. Hold on, Komatsu, this is just the beginning. Yes, the day you choose is an auspicious day, and all others are unlucky days. I'm so sorry, I feel like the day I picked is a death anniversary, and this is the first time I've seen a snake frog. I've always dealt with dead ones in the kitchen before. It's okay, you'll get used to it later. Let's go, let's go. Li Ziming put the 3 snake frogs into the backpack, and the 3 of them set out again to look for the giant crocodile Kayla. However, he knew clearly that they had been targeted by the giant crocodile. Even if they did not look for it, the giant crocodile would appear at night. After all, it was a nocturnal animal. The deeper you go into the island, the more creatures appear in the sky, including pterosaurs with dog heads, dragonflies with snake tails, and even flying pigs. But looking at the direction they were all flying towards the direction the 3 people came from. It was obvious that the huge Kira crocodile appeared, scaring the food from the barren islands. After seeing so many strange-shaped ingredients and walking for tens of thousands of steps, the further we went inside, the fewer ingredients we could see, both animals and plants, and even the sounds of wild beasts disappeared. As evening approached, they started a barbecue by a lake, and our 5-star chef Komatsu prepared snake frogs for them. 3 barbecued snake frogs, 1 for each person, not too little. But if you ask what's missing, it's a little less wine. Ziming, do you have any coconut wine? Come and try some. Yes, there is, but are you sure you want to drink it? I can drink, why not? I can't get drunk, and besides, this is yours. Okay. From the system space, take out the coconut wine that had been collected before, 1 coconut per person, and wait a while to eat it with snake frogs. After Komatsu's simple cooking, the snake frog was roasted. The golden color was very tempting. Without waiting for it to cool down a little, Toriko took it and started eating it, taking a bite of meat and a sip of wine, feeling very happy. Seeing this, Li Ziming also picked one up and started eating. As soon as the snake frog meat entered his mouth, he tasted the firmness of the snake meat and the tenderness of the frog. After being roasted by Komatsu, these 2 flavors were perfectly brought out. It was really good. After eating the snake frog meat, you can eat the Komatsu grilled snake frog liver. The tender liver is roasted golden and crispy. At this time, drink a glass of strong liquor. The light sweetness and the strong aroma of wine make people feel refreshed all of a sudden. It is worthy of being a favorite pairing of snake frog and wine among gourmets. The more you drink, the better it tastes. Li Ziming and Toriko were eating happily, but Komatsu still looked very nervous. Komatsu, your cooking is so good. Thank you for the compliment, Mr. Li Ziming. But why is it so quiet here? They were all eaten by the Kyla crocodile. After all, it is a top creature in the food chain. After hearing what you said, I felt like something was watching me, and my neck was still bleeding. I felt like if I wasn't careful, I would be dead. You'll know this in a moment, but don't worry, little Kyla crocodile, watch us easily catch it. Ha! Nothing, just eat. Li Ziming looked at Komatsu jokingly. It was the first time for him to encounter so many things, but he would get used to it in the future. After all, the difficulty would be greatly doubled in the future. If he had not been blessed with good luck in food, he might have received a box lunch on the way to find Toriko. At this moment, the lake surface suddenly vibrated. Toriko and Komatsu became alert instantly. Li Ziming also began to sense that there were 2 huge creatures fighting in the lake, but they did not seem to be particularly strong. One looked to be level 5, and the other was level 8 or 9. I think this is the scene where the giant crocodile Kyla captured the swamp snake. The next second, Li Ziming became more certain. It was not because of anything else, but because the swamp snake had jumped out of the water. Swamp snake, reptile capture level 5. As Komatsu screamed, a huge swamp snake appeared and fell in front of the 3 people. It soon died. Toriko also found a huge 7-inch wound on the swamp snake, which was obviously bitten by the giant Kara crocodile. That's the only one in the barren islands that can prey on such a hidden marsh snake. How is that possible? The swamp snake and the Kyla crocodile are both captured at level 5. At this moment, Toriko also discovered the barren leech on the swamp snake. Thinking of what Li Ziming said, he realized that it must be the Kara crocodile. No wonder you said we were being targeted. Turns out this is the one being targeted. Komatsu, stand back, it's almost here. Just as he finished speaking, the body of the swamp snake was dragged into the water by something. At the same time, a huge crocodile appeared in front of the 3 people. It was the Kara crocodile. The appearance of the 8-legged Kara crocodile, which was 4 or 5 meters tall and 20 meters long, instantly caused Komatsu to scream. As Komatsu screamed, the Kara crocodile also roared, and one could even see densely packed barren leeches in its mouth. Kara crocodile, reptile, 300 years, capture level 8. Ziming, leave it to me. I want to try the 2 moves you taught me. Okay, let me finish off the enemy. Li Ziming dodged immediately and took Komatsu back to the second line to see if Toriko could try out the flying knife, flying fork, and leg knife from the previous teaching session. Given your size, you must be over 150 years old. You must be 300 years old. At 300 years old, the meat must be very delicious. Sada, just let me have a taste and see if it can be included in my life menu. Before Toriko could continue speaking, the giant Kara crocodile rushed forward and bit him. Toriko dodged it with a flap of his hand easily, but he still couldn't avoid the barren leech. Fortunately, his skin was tough enough and the barren leech couldn't bite through his skin, so Toriko easily pulled it off. But in the next second, the giant Kara crocodile chose to attack with its tail, thinking that it could hit Toriko, but he dodged it unexpectedly and pulled his tail, directly throwing the giant Kara crocodile more than 10 meters away. But was it useful? It was of no use. The giant crocodile Kara landed on the ground with 8 legs, and he was not hurt at all. Instead, he pushed hard with 8 legs and rushed towards Toriko like a rocket, but Toriko dodged him again. Toriko naturally did not want to be outdone, so he found an opportunity and used 3 consecutive punches to knock the giant crocodile Kira away. But he did another tail swing and knocked Toriko away as well. The distance between the two was widened again. Toriko stood up and realized that this was a good opportunity to verify his learning ability. Kara crocodile, you have a hard shell, sharp claws, strong teeth, a bite force of several tons, and your demeanor like the king of the barren islands. I express my respect and gratitude to you. Let me try out my new moves. Toriko put his hands together, and then a knife and a fork appeared in his hands. Recalling Li Ziming's method, he decisively threw the fork in his hand over. Flying fork. The fork instantly flew to the feet of the giant Kara crocodile and nailed it in place. Toriko then threw a flying knife at it and quickly cut off a row of the giant Kara crocodile's feet. The giant Kara crocodile rushed towards Toriko in pain. Looking at the rushing Kara crocodile, Toriko was not panicked at all. He gathered strength with his right foot and did a big split towards the sky. The next second, a huge leg knife appeared and flew directly towards the Kara crocodile. When the two collided, as expected, the giant crocodile Kyla was split into 2 and died instantly. Hey Toriko, aren't you saving it for me to finish off? Oh, sorry, I forgot. You're such a BD. Komatsu was looking at the 2 people who were arguing at this moment, and his worldview was shattered once again. This is the power of the gourmet hunter Toriko. Then how strong will Li Ziming, who teaches him, be? Chapter 27. Just when Toriko successfully captured the giant Kara crocodile and was arguing with Li Ziming, the whole scene was captured by the small robot above them. This small robot comes from Bisho Kyokai, the villain in Captives of Food, who robs food and kills people meaninglessly for their own appetite and various desires, which is what Toriko hates the most. At the same time, after seeing the images transmitted by the robot, Xiao Niang of Bisho Kyokai found Star Jun, the deputy chef of Bisho Kyokai, to report the phenomenon. The changes in the barren islands were caused by the 300-year-old giant Kyla crocodile. Unfortunately, it is not the legendary ingredient. But there's something very interesting about the video transmission. That Kara crocodile was killed by Toriko, one of the 4 heavenly kings of gourmet hunters, but the acting teacher of Shilin Temple appeared beside him, Investigation revealed that it was the national treasure of gourmet Zhen 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 who invited him to join Qilin Temple. Oh, things are getting interesting. Belong Islands. Although Li Ziming did not finish off the enemy, the main mission was completed when he reached the giant crocodile Kira. Complete the main mission, capture the Kyla crocodile, and get points plus 100. Mission accomplished, it was time to taste the Kara crocodile. With the help of Komatsu, the three of them quickly butchered the Kara crocodile and even put it on the grill. As the grilling began, the Kyla crocodile meat began to ooze fat, and at the same time the meat also exuded a strong meaty aroma, tempting Toriko, Li Ziming and Komatsu, as if saying, "Come and eat me." Compared to Toriko and Li Ziming who were indifferent, Komatsu seemed a little panicked. "Okay," swallowing saliva, "we eat the ingredients for the banquet. Don't worry, there's still a lot of it here, and we're only eating a little. Look, the fat on the meat of this giant Kyla crocodile is glowing. It's like the stars shining in the dark night, so beautiful." As soon as he finished speaking, Toriko picked up a piece of roasted Kira crocodile meat and began to bite it. As he continued chewing, a happy smile appeared on his face. Li Ziming felt itchy after seeing this, so without saying anything, he immediately took out a large piece of Kara crocodile meat and put it in his mouth to chew. The next second, his eyes lit up instantly. The meat of the Kara giant crocodile was so delicious that he thought it tasted like chicken before he ate it. The moment he put it in his mouth, he realized that he was wrong, and very wrong. The 300-year-old Kira giant crocodile meat is comparable to the highest grade Wagyu beef sirloin. The outside is roasted to a sizzling oil, while the inside is soft and juicy and very chewy. It contains a lot of gravy. Every time you chew it, it seems as if countless juices are gushing out, making you unable to stop. Komatsu looked at the two people who were so happy, then he took a big piece of meat and started eating it. It melted in his mouth, and after just one bite, he found a new way of cooking. Picking up a piece of Kyla crocodile meat, Komatsu found the stone slab used to build the fire, cleaned it briefly, and then put the Kyla crocodile meat on it. As soon as he put it on, it made a sizzling sound. It was obvious that the hot stone slab was frying the meat that Komatsu put on it, and the gravy of the Kyla crocodile meat was just right for frying itself. When one side is fried until brown, quickly turn it over and fry the other side. When all the juice from the Kyla crocodile meat is locked into the meat, you can start eating. Komatsu divided the fried meat into 3 parts and each of them put a piece into their mouths to chew. Their eyes widened instantly. After frying, the impact of the gravy became stronger and the taste became richer, which was really irresistible. "Komatsu, come on, cook more of this, it's so delicious, so yummy." For a moment, the three of them were so immersed in eating the giant Kara crocodile meat that they completely forgot that it was food for the banquet and that it was a commission from Igo. By the time Komatsu reacted, it was too late. The huge Kyla crocodile had been eaten by 3 people, of course Toriko and Li Ziming. Their stomachs were already swollen, and it was already the next morning. "Mr. Toriko, Mr. Li Ziming, you can't eat it all. Ah, now we're out of ingredients for dinner, we're screwed. Everything that can be eaten must be eaten up, this is Toriko's principle," Li Ziming said while holding his stomach. He hadn't eaten so well in a long time. Then he said to Komatsu, "As for the ingredients for the dinner, I have a good ingredient that I can sell to Igo." "Hey, what are the ingredients, Mr. Li Ziming?" "Elephant bear." When Toriko heard about the elephant bear, she immediately realized that Li Ziming still had an elephant bear that he had not eaten, and the one he ate last time was the one he had captured. "No, Li Ziming, I want to eat too, leave some for me." Okay, I'll leave some for you." At this time, Komatsu didn't understand what kind of food the elephant bear was. Hearing this, Toriko and Li Ziming looked at each other and then realized that the elephant bear had not appeared in the human world for a long time, so it was normal for Komatsu not to know. After Komatsu was told the information and smell of the elephant bear, he was shocked for a moment, and then said that he would tell his boss about it when he got back. "What do you think, Toriko? You want to add it to your life menu? How should I put it? I feel like the impact is still a little lacking. Let's go back and take another look." It is indeed so. Looking at the Kira crocodile skeletons around him, Li Ziming directly put them into the system space. He could use them as ornaments later, which felt pretty good. After eating everything, the 3 of them prepared to pack up and go back. After all, there was not much left here. But as for how to go back, of course, they had to use the somersault cloud. Soon they sat on the somersault cloud. It had to be said that it was still a little crowded with 3 people. If it weren't for the low points, Li Ziming would have upgraded him long ago. On the way back, Toriko was also very curious. Why did Komatsu, as a chef, risk his life to come here? It should not be just to investigate the ecology of the Kara giant crocodile. It all started with my dream. I want to be a top chef, or at least be on the list. But my cooking skills have hit a bottleneck recently and I can't improve no matter what I do. Later I found that if I could understand the ecology of the ingredients and experience them from the very beginning of catching them, I feel that I can break through myself and cook better ingredients. From the moment I met Mr. Toriko and caught the fish, I realized it. That excitement, that nervousness, that feeling of joy, may be the goal of my life. So even if there is danger, I still want to come here to see the ecology of high-end ingredients, step out of my comfort zone, and learn about things I have never seen before. Hearing this, Li Ziming and Toriko were stunned, then looked at him with a smile, with only one thought in their mind: this Komatsu is a cooking maniac. Eating and cooking are about tasting the power of life, and being grateful to nature should be hidden in your heart. This is a reverence for nature and also a comfort to yourself. Komatsu was deeply moved after hearing this and admired them even more. In this way, the 3 of them chatted occasionally, and soon they arrived at the gourmet hotel where Komatsu worked and dropped him off. Let's go, Komatsu, remember to tell your boss about the ingredients. Call if you need anything. Okay, Mr. Li Ziming. But just when Toriko and Li Ziming were about to leave, Komatsu stopped them and asked them seriously. If there's a chance in the future, can I still follow you 2 out to hunt for ingredients? Whatever you want. Komatsu felt disappointed when he heard this. He thought that he was too incompetent and was holding them back. However, Toriko's next words made him smile. It's better to do it today than to wait for a day. The rest are taboo days. Chapter 28. Boom boom boom. Boom boom boom. With the knocks on the door, Li Ziming and Toriko were also awakened. They had not slept for a day and a night, and after returning from sending Komatsu, they lay down in the room and fell asleep. After being woken up, he found that it was already dark outside the window. He didn't know who knocked on the door. He yawned and got up to check. After hearing the sound, Li Ziming simply lay down again, but Toriko's words woke him up instantly. Dad, why are you here? Come and take a look, and buy some ingredients. Hearing this, Toriko understood everything instantly. It turned out that he came to Li Ziming to buy the elephant bear. No wonder his father came. Looking for you, Li Ziming, the president of IGO is here. Hearing this, Li Ziming immediately got up and went to the living room to check. What he saw was amazing. There was a man with blonde hair, long beard and 8-pack abs sitting in the living room. It was indeed the IGO president Yulong. However, why did he look so much like a Saiyan? Achieved gold achievement, IGO's strongest king, President Yulong. Achievement reward, 1000 points. Hello, President Yulong. I am Li Ziming, the acting teacher of Shilin Temple. Yulong looked at Li Ziming carefully and said, Oh, you are the acting teacher who was admitted by the town as an exception. You look very extraordinary. No, it's because of the favor of Zhenzhen Town Normal School that I was able to join Shilin Temple. Don't be modest. As Li Ziming and Yulong were praising each other, Toriko couldn't stand it anymore and immediately said to them, Okay, let's get to the point. Oh, yes, I almost forgot. I heard from our employees that you have an elephant bear here. Yes, I caught them with Toriko last time when we went to Tatang Plains. We ate one and still had another one left. That's just what you captured yourself. It has nothing to do with me. You killed it with just a few moves. Hearing this, Yulong became interested. He had heard that Li Ziming was very powerful, but he didn't expect that he could capture a level 20 elephant bear with just a few moves. This made him very curious about his strength. It was at this time that Li Ziming also put forward his own request. He was originally planning to sell it. After all, the elephant bear was so heavy that it could be sold for tens or hundreds of billions. However, he did not expect Yulong to come. This was a good opportunity to experience the top combat power in the food world. Thinking of this, the fighting factor of the Saiyan blood in Li Ziming's body began to boil. President Yulong, I can give the elephant bear to IGO for free, but I have a request. Oh, tell me about it. I want to fight with you. Toriko was stunned when he heard Li Ziming's request. After all, in his memory, the four of them had never won a battle with his father. However, he was also very curious about Li Ziming's request. He wondered how strong Li Ziming was and how strong his father was. When President Yulong heard this request, he started laughing. "Boy, you think the same as I do." I agreed. "It's a good opportunity for me to see if your strength can reach the level that will make the town praise you. I'm sure you won't be disappointed." Ha 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 ha, interesting. After that, the two left Toriko's house and came to an open space not far away. It must be said that Toriko chose a very good location to build a house. There were basically no other houses around. No, it should be said that the area within a few kilometers seemed to be Toriko's home. Soon, Li Ziming and Yulong stood opposite each other, one on the left and one on the right, while Toriko sat at the door of the room. Both of them looked very relaxed, as if they were very confident about the battle. "Young man, you go first." "Okay, old man, I'll obey your orders." Li Ziming took a quick step and came in front of Chairman Yulong. He punched him in the face, but he just leaned to the left and managed to dodge it. Li Ziming immediately launched a barrage of punches upon seeing this, but President Yulong reacted quickly and dodged all of them perfectly. "That was a close call. Your punch is really powerful. Come again, President Yulong." Facing such an easy Yulong, what could Li Ziming do? He was helpless and simply exploded with anger to increase his punching speed and attack. Seeing this, Yulong didn't plan to hide anymore. He just wanted to test how strong Li Ziming was. The next second, Li Ziming came directly in front of him and punched Yulong in the stomach. Li Ziming used all his strength in this punch and directly knocked Yulong flying. He suddenly lay several hundred meters away, raising layers of dust. Toriko was stunned. His father was knocked flying just like that. Li Ziming was still clear about the law of no harm in the smoke. Soon Yulong's laughter came from the dust, and he jumped back to his previous position. "You kid, you're pretty strong, no wonder the town praised you. We've only just started, President. I'm going to continue." He rushed to President Yulong again, ready to fight him again, but who would have thought that President Yulong would punch him as well the moment he arrived. The force was just right and Li Ziming was knocked flying. Fortunately, he knew the flying technique and was able to stabilize his body in mid-air. Seeing this, President Yulong was even more surprised. "I didn't expect you could actually fly, that's amazing." "Hiss, it hurts, President, but I can do more than just fly." Standing in the air, Li Ziming threw out a flying fork, pinning President Yulong to the spot, making him unable to move. Taking advantage of this opportunity, he used that move directly in mid-air. Turtle. Faction. Chi. Sorry I didn't exchange it. Qigong wave. The next second, a beam of energy rushed towards President Yulong. President Yulong immediately perked up. The power of this thing was extraordinary. Facing this Qigong wave, President Yulong chose to use the chopstick cannon to resist it. The two collided instantly, neither of them gave in, and they were in a stalemate for a while. Seeing this, Li Ziming immediately increased his output, and was about to destroy the chopstick cannon. Unexpectedly, Yulong also increased his output, and Li Ziming soon fell into a disadvantage. In the end, he was defeated by Yulong's chopstick cannon and was instantly hit in the abdomen. After being knocked hundreds of meters away again, Li Ziming was already covered in wounds. It must be said that Yulong is indeed one of the most powerful humans today. It is normal that he cannot beat him with his current strength. He should not have stood on Toriko's left side. After all, since ancient times, the left side of the opponent will lose. As soon as he stood up, President Yulong came to his side and said, "Do you want to fight or not?" Li Ziming was about to give up after hearing this. After all, he had tried all the moves he could, but was still no match for President Yulong. He decided to just end the fight, but at this moment, the moon came out. The blue waves generated by the moon shone on Li Ziming. He was originally a little discouraged, but instantly became excited. Yes, Saiyans cannot surrender. He was thinking about when he could experience gigantic ape transformation again. Now is the chance, and it is a gigantic ape transformation with brief rationality. "President Yulong, I still have a move that I haven't used yet. Let me show you. My gigantic ape transformation." Chapter 29. Under the shocked gazes of Toriko and Yulong, Li Ziming was exposed to the blue waves emitted by the moon, and the next second, his body gradually changed. His whole body began to swell, and hair gradually grew on his body, and finally he turned into a black-haired, red-eyed gorilla. However, unlike the last transformation, this time he had some more golden hair on his body. At the same time, this time when he transformed into a giant ape, Ziming was able to control his mind for a short period of time. Great! This is your trump card. This is your food demon. Let me see it. Then here I come, President Yulong. Ziming, who transformed into a giant ape, was filled with endless anger at this moment, and felt like he wanted to tear the sky apart. Fortunately, after practicing Shi and upgrading his bloodline, he now felt nearly 10 times the original strength. Ziming feels that his current combat power is probably around 30,000 or 40,000. If converted into capture level, it would probably be around 300 or 400. He looked at the distance between the two and naturally did not rush forward to attack immediately. After all, although transforming into a gigantic ape would increase his combat power tenfold, he would not be as flexible when facing small creatures and would easily become a sandbag. Ziming directly activated the tailed beast ball, no, the Saiyan giant ape's mouth cannon Qigong wave, and fired it towards President Yulong. At this moment, Yulong, looking at the Qigong waves launched by the giant ape, actually felt a hint of threat, which he did not expect. So it was time to show his true strength. I'm out of the way. That's right, Yulong actually dodged it perfectly, and the mouth cannon and Qigong just brushed past him. Ziming really didn't expect this. Where is your self-esteem as a strong man? Come here and fight with me. Ziming was speechless, but he had no other choice at the moment. He just controlled his body, ran towards President Yulong, and punched him. Comparing his huge fist with President Yulong, he felt like One Punch Man. Yulong felt the incredible power contained in the giant ape fist. He felt that if Ziming could maintain it for a long time, he might be able to take a stroll in the food industry. A huge fist was coming towards him, and Yulong stopped pretending. He revealed his cards and said, I am number 1 in the world. Facing the powerful fist, Yulong blocked it with just one finger. Although Ziming had anticipated this outcome, when this scene appeared, his heart was still filled with sadness and excitement. This is the world's top combat power. Will I become so strong in the future? Well, it's good, but the attack is a bit monotonous, and the energy contained in the body is also very little. It's just like what Zhen Zhen said, lack of experience and lack of energy. Come on, President Yulong, attack me with all your might and crush my inflated heart. Oh, it seems you are very self-aware. Here I come. Yulong's head popped and Ziming flew out, then he activated gravity, used Shinra Tensei, sucked him in and beat him up, while Ziming was controlled and couldn't move at all. But soon, Yulong stopped, not because of anything else, but because Ziming had been beaten unconscious, so Yulong stopped. Ziming, who had fainted, also transformed from a giant ape back into his original human form. Upon seeing this, Yulong directly called Toriko and asked him to carry Ziming back to the room. Toriko picked up Ziming and asked Yulong, Dad, how strong are you? Very strong, probably number 1 in the world right now. Then it will be very difficult for me to surpass you. Not really, you still have a chance. Tell Ziming to hand the elephant bear over to Chef Komatsu tomorrow. By the way, you guys can come and join us. Oh, okay. After finishing the instructions, Yulong also walked away. After all, he was a very busy man, and it was great that he could find time to come here. Toriko looked at the fainted Ziming, sighed secretly, and then put him into the second bedroom, and put a new set of clothes in it. Looking at the time, it was already past 10 o'clock in the evening. Toriko didn't want to cook for himself, so he simply ate some cookies and chocolate trees on the wall, drank a glass of fruit milk, and after a quick wash, he went back to his room and fell asleep. The next day when Ziming woke up, it was already morning. As expected of the world's number 1 president, Yulong, his strength was so strong that he knocked himself out in an instant and remained unconscious until the next morning. At this moment, he was very hungry. After all, he hadn't eaten for a day and a night, so it was inevitable that his stomach was empty. After putting on his clothes, he set his sights on Toriko's house. Crunch! In no time, he had eaten up the wall of Ziming's second bedroom. Then he set his sights on the wall of Toriko's room. As expected of Toriko, the cookies she chose to build the walls of her house were also unusual. They were from Cookie Giraffe. But just when he started eating again, Toriko heard the sound of eating biscuits and was woken up. She saw a shocking scene. Li Ziming was actually holding the door of his room and chewing on it. Hey, what are you doing? Why don't you go to the second bedroom? Eat it, Toriko. Nanny. Toriko walked out of the room and saw that, as expected, the second bedroom had been eaten up by him and only a bed was left. After sighing, she came to her senses and saw Li Ziming, whose eyes were red from hunger. Stop eating, buddy. I still need to sleep in the bedroom. Come on, I'll treat you to dinner at Komatsu's hotel. Okay, somersault cloud. The two took off directly and flew towards the gourmet hotel where Komatsu was. Not long after, they arrived and happened to meet Komatsu coming to work. Mr. Toriko, Mr. Li Ziming, why are you here so early? Are you here to deliver the food? Yes and no, hurry up and make some food Komatsu, Li Ziming is starving. Seeing Li Ziming's red eyes, Komatsu instantly understood the reason. He asked the two to find a place to sit first, and then he and his men went to cook immediately. Soon, the waiters came over with carts and placed countless dishes in front of the two of them. Li Ziming saw this and started eating immediately. The speed was so fast that Toriko was frightened. As Li Ziming ate, his consciousness gradually became clear. It turned out that he had consumed too many calories in the battle yesterday, otherwise this would not have happened. Toriko looked at him with a worried look on her face. How are you? Are you okay? If I had known this would happen, I would have woken you up last night. This is the first time I feel so hungry. You really have too little experience. Carriers of gourmet cells like us have to eat more than 100,000 calories every day, otherwise our bodies will be damaged and our strength will decline. We may also be like you, starving to death. Listening to Toriko's description, Li Ziming did not find that his strength had declined. Instead, he felt that his fighting power had become stronger. This is the advantage of Saiyan blood. Those who cannot be killed will only make me stronger. Now that he has accumulated so many points, it is time for Li Ziming to learn something new. Host, Li Ziming, Takai, gender, male age, 20 years old bloodline, Saiyan superior bloodline plus combat power, 4000 points, 6364 number of times you can cross, 0 skills, air dance, Qigong wave, giant ape transformation, high speed flight, chi sensing, tail attack, nail fist, knife and fork. Backpack, 100 cubic meters elephant bear x1. Chapter 30. Li Ziming was very happy after reading the panel. First, his points were so high that he could buy a special item from the 4 heavenly kings. Second, his combat power had increased and reached 4000. As expected, if you want to improve your combat power quickly, you have to fight with the strong. Either defeat the opponent or be beaten half to death by the opponent. The battle with President Yulong was just a brief exchange of ideas, otherwise he might have died. After all, he was a gourmet hunter who lived for hundreds of years. It seems that I have to learn how to eat as soon as possible, start storing energy and strengthening myself, and I also have to add more moves. After saying that, Li Ziming prepared to see what to buy. But just as he opened the system space to check, Komatsu came to their side. Mr. Toriko, Mr. Li Ziming, is the food okay? Not bad, Komatsu, your cooking skills are still so high. Well, thank you Komatsu, I'm almost recovered. Hearing this, Komatsu was relieved, but when he thought of the purpose of his trip, Komatsu said to Li Ziming, Mr. Li Ziming, did you bring the elephant bear? I need to start preparing. Oh, I brought it. Although Li Ziming felt very sorry for giving away the elephant bear, fortunately his combat effectiveness increased, and it also calmed his inflated heart. Besides, it's not like he can't eat the elephant bear. After all, President Yulong has invited him. He can come over in the evening and eat as much as he can with Toriko to make up for what he lost. Come on, Komatsu, lead the way, and find a place to put the elephant bear. Okay, Mr. Li Ziming. Komatsu took Li Ziming and took the elevator all the way down to the basement, where was the warehouse of the gourmet hotel. It was as big as 3 football fields and had air conditioning to keep food fresh. With so many ingredients, they could basically be consumed in one day. This was the charm of gourmet food in the gourmet era. After finding an empty space, Li Ziming took the elephant bear out of his backpack and placed it in the warehouse. Komatsu was shocked when he saw the Gundam, which was about 30 meters long and weighed dozens of tons. It was the first time for him to see such a huge food. For a moment, he doubted whether he could cook the Gundam. Li Ziming also noticed Komatsu's abnormality. What's wrong, Komatsu, you are scared now? This is the first time I've seen such high quality and huge ingredients. For a moment I didn't know how to start. Just relax. You still have 1 day to figure it out. If you really don't know how to cook it, I'll give you a secret. Try to listen to the sounds of the ingredients. Listen to the sounds of the ingredients. Well, I leave it to you. I'm leaving now. Li Ziming then left and returned to the dining table where he had just been, eating the delicious food with Toriko again and replenishing his energy. Soon the two of them finished all the dishes. Seeing that there was still a long time before the evening feast, Li Ziming asked Toriko. Toriko, do you know a chef who can make braised meat? Braised meat? Oh, I forgot you captured the man-eating wild boar zebra. As for delicious food, I don't know a chef who can make braised meat, but I know where I can get braised meat. The 10-star Hyuxia Restaurant Zero will definitely help you with the stewing. Li Ziming never thought that there would be a Hyuxia restaurant in this world, but when you think about it, it makes sense. The original author must have eaten Hyuxia food, otherwise he would not have written it into the comics and animation. Toriko, that's not necessary. To braise meat, you have to go to a 10-star Hyuxia restaurant. The processing fee must be very high. It's my treat. That's okay, let's go now. Toriko. After paying the bill, the two set off. As soon as they went out, Li Ziming asked Toriko where the store was. In the Full Belly City Food City. Oh no! Hearing the name, Li Ziming instantly became excited. Baofu City Food City is a place that specializes in providing food. Not only does it have a wide variety of things, it even has a 10-star food tower. It is said that many chefs on the world's culinary rankings have opened restaurants here. Li Zingye was excited just thinking about it. He called for the somersault cloud, and was about to fly over with Toriko, but the next second, Toriko stopped him. The Baofu City Food City receives a lot of people every day. It's better not to fly there, otherwise it will cause a riot. All right. Under Toriko's leadership, the two quickly took the high-speed train and arrived at the entrance of the well-fed city. As soon as they got off the train, countless people gathered here. The scene was filled with loud gongs and drums, firecrackers, red flags waving, and huge crowds of people. Even though there were so many people, the entrance was still divided into two, one where people with a food ID could enter by swiping their card, and one where people without a food ID could enter only by paying an entrance fee, thus preventing most petty thieves and wanted robbers from entering. Fortunately, both of them had food IDs, so they easily passed security and arrived at the Baofu City Food City. Achieve Silver Achievement, the world's largest food city. Achievement Reward, 100 points. Another amount of points was credited to his account. Li Ziming was in a good mood. He looked at the 3-star beverage machine next to him and offered to buy a drink. What drinks would you like? It's on me. Then I won't be polite. The 3-star beverage machine only costs 100,000 yuan per bottle, which Li Ziming can still afford. The two of them bought a few bottles and walked towards the food tower while drinking. Although the two had already eaten breakfast when they arrived, they couldn't resist the various delicious foods everywhere, so they simply walked into a fried chicken shop to taste them. Half an hour later, the two men came out satisfied. At the same time, the chef here also put up a notice to suspend business for rectification, which obviously made him exhausted. In this way, they ate as they walked. Either this hot pot restaurant was closed or that noodle shop was closed. The journey that was supposed to take half an hour was dragged out to 2 or 3 hours. It was almost noon when they arrived at the bottom of the food tower. Let's go up. Wait a minute, who said we were on the food tower? If it's not on the food tower, then where is it? There it is. Looking in the direction Toriko pointed, we saw an antique wooden building standing among the tall buildings, giving people a feeling of being out of touch with the world. It was the 10-star restaurant Zero. Moreover, Li Ziming discovered that although Zero was a 10-star restaurant, a lot of people still walked in, and it did not have the airs of a 10-star restaurant at all. The Zero restaurant is very friendly to the public, so it covers a large area and has many chefs. The top chef Zero Haru is the owner and head chef. Let's go in and take a look. After the two walked in, they were instantly attracted by the aroma of food. Countless chefs were cooking in the kitchen and placing a variety of dishes in front of the guests. Isn't this a buffet lunchbox? Looking at so many dishes, Li Ziming was very happy. In his previous life, he wanted to go to Northeast Daxia to eat self-service boxed lunches, but was sent here by a dump truck. He thought he would never be able to eat it again. Who would have thought that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel, and he actually encountered Hyuxia cuisine in this world. Toriko, I'm hungry. Then eat it, just in time for lunch. Chapter 31. 5 Ants. Li Ziming, this braised pork is so delicious. It melts in your mouth. Toriko, try this sweet and sour pork, it's sweet and sour and a little crispy, super delicious. Really? In the huge buffet lunchbox restaurant of the 10-star Hyuxia restaurant, countless people were shocked by the way these two people ate. On the one hand, they saw that they ate with great relish, and on the other hand, they were shocked by their appetite. Toriko, try the scrambled eggs with tomatoes and rice, it's amazing. Li Ziming, fish-flavored shredded pork with rice is also super delicious. At this moment, Li Ziming and Toriko were already sitting at the position closest to the dishes, so it was convenient for them to get the next plate of dishes and rice. Soon, they got the second, third, fourth, and fifth plates. The rice is still a small bowl. In just over 10 minutes, the two of them finished eating enough food for 200 to 300 people. At that moment, everyone realized that they were extraordinary. No one knew Li Ziming, but with the 4 heavenly kings next to him, everyone recognized Toriko's identity. Seeing this, the waiter nearby quietly left to inform the others. At this moment, the two of them were focused on the delicious food and did not notice that they were surrounded by fans. They only discovered this when they went to get food again. It's difficult, there are so many people. It's all because of you. Your blue hair is so eye-catching. Blame me. Just when they were feeling distressed about being surrounded by people, several waiters came to them and rescued them. You two, our boss wants to see you. Li Ziming and Toriko looked at each other in confusion, but after all they came to ask for help, so they simply followed the service staff and walked out of the circle of fans. Walking out of this huge kitchen and dining area, what comes into view is a small park with mountains, water, and pavilions. Inside the pavilion is a very handsome man. Chef, Mr. Toriko, and his companions are here. Okay, thanks, get busy. After the waiter left, the people in the pavilion also looked at the two of them, and Toriko and Li Ziming also realized each other's identity, that is, the chef of this 10-star Hyuxia restaurant, the 18th ranked chef in the world's cooking rankings, and the top chef Ling Chun. Achieved silver achievement, the youngest top chef. Achievement reward, 100 points. Hello, I'm the chef of this restaurant, my name is Ling Chun. Hello, Chef Ling Chun, what's the matter with calling us here? Ling Chun laughed, and then said to the two of them, I still have something to ask you, Toriko from the 4 heavenly kings of gourmet food, Li Ziming, the acting teacher of Shilin Temple, what are you doing in my store? Besides, if you call and make a reservation, we will arrange a private room for you, so you won't be bothered by those fans. Li Ziming and Toriko scratched their heads. We also decided to come here on short notice. We wanted to come to you directly, but the food the chefs cooked was so delicious that we couldn't stop eating. I see. Sorry. Please sit down. I'll make you some tea. Ling Chun was relieved when he learned that they were not here to disrupt the order on purpose but were really here to eat. As Chef Ling Chun made tea, the two of them also smelled some fragrance. This smell was jasmine tea. After it was brewed, the three of them drank a cup each and started to taste it. The aroma is rich and the taste is bitter but sweet. Good tea goes well with good water. It was the first time for Li Ziming to taste tea from the world of gourmet food. By the way, Chef Ling Chun, can you guys do the processing for me? Oh, what are you processing for me? Tell me about it. I captured some man-eating wild boars, zebra, and I want you to process them into some braised meat. It's not much, only about 30 to 40 tons. Puff. Hearing this, Chef Ling Chun was also shocked by Li Ziming. 30 or 40 tons at once, could they finish eating it? Oh gourmet hunter, if they can finish eating it, then it's okay. Of course you can, but do you really need to braise so much? I like to eat it, and I can give it to others as a gift, how great. Okay, when the ingredients are delivered, I'll braise them for you myself. Really? Now. Just when Chef Ling Chun was puzzled, Li Ziming walked out of the pavilion and took out a man-eating wild boar zebra from the system backpack, which made Ling Chun stunned. Oh my god, you have such an amazing ability that you can even place ingredients. No, it's just a small ability, not worth mentioning. Take everything out. I'll have someone clean it up for you and start stewing. After that, Li Ziming took out the other two man-eating wild boars, zebra. When Ling Chun saw it, he directly called a bunch of chefs in and moved the 3 zebras away and dealt with them. Upon seeing this, Li Ziming returned to his seat, started drinking tea, and talked about the cost of this processing. Chef Ling Chun, how much does the braised pork belly cost? Just tell me. It's a small matter. It's free. It's just a gift for meeting you two. Your gift is too expensive. Just say it casually. I have plenty of money. If you must give me a gift, give me some tea. It's delicious. I didn't expect you to like tea. I'll have someone bring some for you later. As for the cost of marinating, let's just give 1/10 of the total value. Just give 50 million yuan for 3 of them. Okay, it's settled, Toriko pays. Ling Chun looked at this scene in shock. No wonder Li Ziming was so generous. It turned out that Toriko was treating them. But Toriko didn't care at this time. After all, money was just a string of numbers to him, and he also had a black card with unlimited amount. However, Li Ziming was curious about how long it would take to stew the food, so he simply asked Chef Ling Chun. How long will it take to stew, Chef Ling Chun? That's a bit too much. It might take about 5 or 6 hours. Okay, we'll come back later. Li Ziming and Toriko said goodbye to Chef Ling Chun and continued to stroll around the Baofu City Food City. After walking a few steps, they saw a gourmet department store. Thinking that he didn't have many clothes and kitchen utensils, Li Ziming decided to go in and buy some, and also buy a few sets of kitchen utensils and kitchen knives. After the Jindu cloud was upgraded to a travel cloud, he could make plans. Come on, Toriko, let's go shopping so I can buy some clothes and kitchenware. I'm not interested in places without food. Let's go, let's go. The braised meat still has a few hours to go. After that, Li Ziming took Toriko into the gourmet department store. It must be said that there were a wide variety of things here. I picked out a few Lifang pots, bought a few milk knives, and various other kitchen tools. 100 million was gone just like that. There's nothing I can do about it. Quality things are so expensive. Then I went to the clothing area and bought a few suitable clothes as daily casual clothes. Then I went to the seasoning area and bought various seasonings and put them in my backpack. This was the main purpose of today. I can't always eat original barbecue when I go on adventures in the future. I have to add some secret seasonings. Then buy some drinks. In this world, eating delicious food with drinks is not 1 + 1 = 2, but 1 + 1 = 3. Finally, buy some oil, buy a few tons, and put them in the system space. When you come across suitable ingredients, you can fry them and eat them. There was nothing else left. In less than half an hour, Li Ziming bought everything he wanted. Seeing that it would take several hours before they could eat the braised meat, the two began to randomly go into stores to taste the food in order to satisfy their cravings, using food to pass the hours. Eat sushi, eat closed, eat barbecue, eat closed, eat ramen, eat closed. Chapter 32. 5 hours later, Li Ziming and Toriko returned to Chef Ling Chun's 10-star Hyuxia restaurant with their bulging bellies. When Ling Chun saw them like this, he had a new idea about their appetites. They were indeed two foodies. Chef Ling Chun invited the two to come and sit down, poured them a cup of tea and asked them to take a rest. You two have such good appetites, are you going to eat braised meat later? Eat, why not eat? When they heard about braised pork, Li Ziming and Toriko's stomachs suddenly sank and they drooled. It was obvious that they were very much looking forward to the braised pork prepared by Chef Ling Chun. Seeing the two greedy looks, Chef Ling Chun couldn't help but laugh, and then called the waiter to bring the braised meat over. Li Ziming and Toriko looked at the neatly arranged braised meat, braised pig head, braised pig ears, braised pig tail, braised large intestine, braised meat, pig heart, pig liver, etc., and immediately came over to taste them. This braised meat melts in your mouth and is salty and fragrant. It is especially suitable for making rujiamo. The pig ears are crunchy and too crispy, and very tasty. They would be especially delicious if served cold, not to mention other braised dishes. It is simply a must-have dish for when you are slightly tipsy. Li Ziming simply waved his hand and put the dozens of tons of braised meat into his backpack. Hey, leave some for me. Why are you in such a hurry? Go buy some wine later. Yes, that's right. At this moment, Chef Ling Chun came over and said to them, "We also have wine in our store, do you want to buy some?" Li Ziming and Toriko looked at each other and immediately became interested. Of course, the most excited one was the alcoholic Toriko, who could drink any kind of alcohol and could accept any alcohol content. "Give me 100 million worth of wine, let me taste it all." "Okay, I'll be right there." Chef Ling Chun directly called his assistant and asked him to go to the warehouse to get some wine. The assistant went there with a dozen people and went back and forth 4 or 5 times, bringing back dozens of boxes of white wine, yellow wine, and rice wine, all of which were famous wines. Of course, the jasmine tea sent by Chef Ling Chun was also in it. There were 5 or 6 big bags, enough for Li Ziming to drink for a year. Upon seeing this, Li Ziming immediately put these into the system backpack. Now he had some to drink and some to eat at night, and he could find time to drink tea later. It was wonderful. Looking at the time, it was almost time for the food banquet, so the two said goodbye to Chef Ling Chun and walked towards the high-speed rail station while eating and drinking. After sitting on the high-speed train, drinking wine and eating braised food, the two soon returned to the Gourmet Hotel. At this moment, the Gourmet Hotel was surrounded by countless reporters, and of course, IGO staff, who were on guard nearby and maintaining order. The person in the lead was a familiar figure, Yu Haines. Achievement: a man who always wears a suit. Achievement reward, 10 points. Soon Yu Haines saw the two and greeted them personally. "Master Toriko, Li Ziming is the acting teacher, the food banquet is about to begin, this way." "Yu Haines, today's scene is quite big." "Yes, Lord Toriko, many leaders of other countries were not planning to come, but when they heard about the elephant bear ingredient, they immediately came to participate." "How realistic, but elephant bears are indeed delicious." 2. With the leadership of Yu Haines, Li Ziming and Toriko quickly arrived at the venue. After all, they were all heads of state, but the two did not have much interest. But at this moment, a bald man came over with wine. "Toriko, long time no see, have you been eating well lately?" "Director Mansum, you are here too, let's share a table." "You just praised me for being handsome, didn't you?" "I didn't say that." At this moment, Director Mansum also saw Li Ziming beside him and sighed. "Hey, you must be the acting teacher Li Ziming who came here for training. You have a good physique." "You are too kind, Director Mansum." "Did you just say I was handsome?" "You are indeed quite handsome." Li Ziming looked at the bald uncle in front of him. Although he looked very unreliable, he was still very strong. If it weren't for the restriction of Yulong, he would have lost control of his appetite and brutality. So he still has a lot of respect for Director Mansum. Achieve Silver Achievement, Self-Sealed Azura. Achievement Reward, 100 points. "Ha ha 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 ha, you have good taste, boy. Come on, sit down next to me." The two of them sat down with Director Mansum. He was the only one at the table. There were 3 of them at one table, chatting while waiting for the delicious banquet to begin. Soon after, President Yulong arrived and officially announced the opening of the food banquet. He then sat at a table with leaders of several countries, chatting while waiting for the food to be served. Soon, the service staff of the Gourmet Hotel came to the banquet hall to serve the dishes. The first dish was the appetizer, cold mixed almond cabbage. After being prepared by the chef, the cabbage with almond flavor was not only unusually crisp, but also with the sour taste of the cold dressing, it was still a good choice as an appetizer. The leaders present were also very satisfied with the food, but compared to these, they were more looking forward to the cooking and the elephant bear. As the dishes were served one after another, everyone ate happily with great appetites, and waited for the elephant bear to come. The door opened, and Chef Komatsu and his assistants came over with carts to serve everyone the main dish, which was low-temperature aged smoked elephant bear barbecue that had gone through more than a dozen processes. Everyone stared at the piece of elephant bear meat on their plates, which exuded an enchanting aroma. The fragrance was so delicious that it could make people forget to breathe, and drool when they came to their senses. "What are you standing there for? Eat!" As President Yulong spoke, everyone began to taste the dish. The moment you put it in your mouth, it is crispy, too crispy. After being smoked and then roasted, a layer of golden crispy skin is formed on the surface of the elephant bear meat, which is matched with the smoky flavor, and is fragrant and crispy. Then it is tender, so tender. After being ripened at low temperature, it perfectly retains the charming fruity sweetness of the elephant bear's body. It feels like you can tear the elephant bear meat apart with just a lick of your tongue. The moment everyone tasted it, they shed touching tears and felt as if their whole body was reborn. This is the feeling that everyone who has tasted it has. In a short while, everyone had finished eating all the elephant bear meat and raised their glasses to President Yulong, thanking him for inviting them to eat such delicious food. After eating and drinking to their heart's content, the heads of state left very satisfied. For them, the meal was delicious and filling, but for Li Ziming, Toriko, and Director Mansum, it was just a snack. However, the elephant bear meat was indeed delicious. Li Ziming took out the braised meat that he had asked someone to process today, and then took out the white wine that he had purchased today, and the three of them started drinking in the banquet hall, eating side dishes while drinking white wine, rice wine, and rum. During the period, Komatsu also came over to chat with them and tasted the braised meat from the 10-star Hyuxia restaurant. He was very touched, it was so delicious. A few hours later, 4 people sat around a table. 3 of them were not drunk, but Komatsu drank a few glasses of wine and fell asleep on the table. Toriko called Johannes and asked him to send Komatsu back home. The other 3 had also drunk enough, and the party came to an end. Li Ziming, come hang out with me in a few days and I'll arrange a meal for you. Then I'll trouble you, Brother Mansum. No trouble, we are all family. Chapter 33. The first thing they do when they wake up every day is to eat a cookie wall to recharge themselves. Li Ziming and Toriko are very consistent in this regard. Several days had passed since the gourmet banquet, and Li Ziming had also rested for a few days at Toriko's home. Of course, it was more than just rest. After going through so much, he had a better understanding of the meaning of food. Every day he was either eating zen or on the way to eating zen. Of course, the number of them had increased since then. The number of the heart-peaking pen grass filled the entire room. There were at least 80 or 90 of them, if not 60 or 70. Li Ziming finished his usual zen meal, ate cookies, walked out of the second bedroom which had only one bed, and walked into the living room while eating. I turned on the TV and watched the food news. The host was Tina. Today, the International Gastronomic Organization IGO announced that the species of Kyla crocodile has been improved. Not only the meat has become more delicious, but also the difficulty of catching it will be greatly reduced. Li Ziming watched the news calmly, not for any other reason, but because he knew that IGO would do such a thing, and it was not the first or second time. In the era of food, food really comes first and morality takes a back seat. At this moment, Toriko also got up. When she came down, she was holding a cheese hot dog stick in her hand and was eating it happily. Li Ziming, Tom has sent me a commission. He wants me to capture a Shackleton. Are you going? Okay, let's go, it's a good opportunity to catch some food for breakfast. That's right, let's go. After leaving the biscuit house, Li Ziming summoned the somersault cloud, and the two of them rode on it, flying while looking for traces of Shackler Norton. Flying in the air, Toriko soon smelled a familiar scent with his nose. Following the smell, they came to a cave, which obviously contained Shackle Norton. Toriko jumped off the somersault cloud and walked in. He heard screams and a moment later, he came out carrying a pterosaur on his back. He was Shackler Norton. Li Ziming, you can store living things but not. No, I can only store dead things here. Then I'll carry it on my back. Looking at Toriko like this, Li Ziming had no idea what to do, because Toriko's principle was to eat the prey after killing it, so many requests for beasts were not to kill them. After putting Shackler Norton on the somersault cloud, the two sat beside him and flew towards the central wholesale market, where they quickly found Tom to buy some food so they could have a good breakfast. But after they flew for a while, Toriko asked him to stop because he smelled a particularly fragrant smell. Following the smell, I saw that it was a mature hamburger clover. It was clearly a plant, but it had grown bread, cheese, and meat patties. There were some butterflies dancing around it, but when the two people got closer, they found that they were butterflies with French fries, and there were 4 or 5 brown chickens eating next to them. Hamburger clover, plant capture level 1 or below butterfly, insect capture level 1 or below golden crispy chicken, birds capture level 1. Seeing this scene, both of them were very surprised. Their food luck was so good today that they actually got a hamburger set for 2. Li Ziming took a quick step and quickly killed 5 golden crispy chickens. Smelling the aroma coming from the golden crispy chickens, it was obvious that this was a delicious dish like a roasted whole pig. You can enjoy the deliciousness without cooking. Defeat golden crispy chicken and get 5 points, but he was not in a hurry. He put the food into his backpack and started to capture all the hamburger 4-leaf clovers and butterflies around with Toriko. Now he had breakfast. Afterwards, the two of them sat on the Shackler Norton of the somersault cloud, with a hamburger 4-leaf clover in the left hand, a golden crispy chicken in the right hand, and buttered French fries on their legs, eating happily. The burger was tender and juicy, with the aroma of both the plant and the burger. Li Ziming felt like he was eating a grass cake. The golden crispy chicken has a crispy skin and the chicken inside is tender and juicy. It is sprinkled with purchased cumin powder and sweet plum powder. It is fragrant and sweet and delicious. The fries are also particularly crispy, with a buttery and milky aroma. In addition, the fries are originally butterfly wings, so they taste dry and crispy, and are delicious. While eating these delicacies, have a bottle of carbonated drink. It is so wonderful to have such a meal early in the morning. Soon they flew to the food wholesale market, and as soon as they arrived, they witnessed a great show. As for who it came from, it was of course Tina from Food TV. Achievement, Tina who loves to tell the truth. Achievement reward, 10 points. What the hell are you talking about? Say it to me again. Okay, I'll tell you this many times. The fact that this nutfish's mouth is open is proof that it's not fresh. At this time, the staff member next to him said anxiously, Tina, it's still live now. Hearing this, Tina immediately turned back into a sweet girl. Excuse me, the above is the report Tina sent back from the Central Wholesale Market of Food. After finishing the report, Tina immediately returned to her previous state. What the hell, where was I just now? The people around were stunned for a moment when they saw such a versatile food news host. Even Komatsu who was standing next to her was stunned, with Yuhanes beside him. Watching Tina and the store owner arguing over the freshness of the nutsori, Komatsu couldn't help but say, well, cues is best when you open your mouth. But if you want to sell it, it's best to keep the mouth closed, so that when it's sent to the kitchen for cooking, the delicious taste of the nut swordfish will not be lost. Hearing this, the store manager became very angry and felt for a moment that the two men were just trying to cause trouble and affect his business. Just when the store manager was about to lose his temper, Li Ziming showed up with Toriko. Komatsu. X2 Mr. Li Ziming, Mr. Toriko. Long time no see. It's Mr. Gourmet Hunter Toriko. It's one of the 4 heavenly kings. When the store manager saw this scene, he immediately realized something was wrong. The person looking for trouble actually knew Toriko. It was obvious that he had hit a wall this time. He was so scared that he immediately put away the ingredients and closed the store. But now everyone's attention is focused on Toriko, and no one cares about the store manager's affairs. Tina was very excited to see Toriko carrying Shackler Norton on her back, as this was a captured level 4 beast. As she spoke, she came over with a microphone, wanting to interview Toriko. Mr. Toriko, I'm Tina from Gourmet News. This is my partner, Kurobo the balloon pigeon. It's a great honor to meet Toriko here. Can you please let me have a brief visit? At this moment, Johannes appeared with his men and blocked Tina and the others' way. If you just interview us casually, it will be very troublesome for us. The assistant at the side instantly discovered that they were from Igo, and then immediately ran away with Tina. They were someone they couldn't afford to offend. Long time no see, Johannes. Long time no see, acting teacher Li Ziming. It's great to meet you two here. I have a commission for you. Toriko was unhappy when she heard this. There were a lot of food hunters in Igo, and it shouldn't be her turn. But Li Ziming knew what the commission was, so he quickly told Toriko to shut up and let Yuhanes continue. The rainbow fruit has borne fruit. What the hell are you talking about? Chapter 34. Colorful, rainbow fruit. It's one of those dreamy fruits that changes into rainbow colors depending on the climate and temperature. As Komatsu exclaimed, people around looked over. On the surface, Yuhanes asked Komatsu to speak more quietly, but in his heart he wanted Komatsu to speak louder so that everyone could hear it. This way, after obtaining it, it would be easier for them, Igo, to sell the rainbow fruit. It is said that a drop of juice from this fruit can turn a swimming pool into sweet and delicious juice. It is said that if someone finds a fruit, they will be able to live a life of plenty. Isn't the rainbow fruit already extinct? Of course this isn't wild rainbow fruit. After hearing this, Toriko understood that the wild rainbow fruit was extinct, but Igo was best at improving the varieties. It seemed that the rainbow fruit had also undergone regeneration and improvement, so it could grow in this era. But he didn't understand why he and Li Ziming had to help pick the rainbow fruits. Yuhane's words made Toriko fall into deep thought. Dara King Kong built a nest in the rainbow fruit tree. No one can get close. We deployed a 40-ton food truck a few days ago, but it still got overturned. You mean the strongest gorilla, Toriko? Capture the level 9 Toriko. Li Ziming was unhappy when he heard this. His giant ape transformation was the strongest gorilla. At this moment, he couldn't help but feel angry. Obviously, the Saiyan bloodline couldn't stand it anymore. Toriko, I think I'm the strongest gorilla. What do you think? Toriko thought about the scene of the giant ape fight between Yulong and Li Ziming a few days ago, and her heart couldn't help but shudder. Oh, of course it's you. What are you talking about? You'll know later. Li Ziming looked at Yuhanes and said, we accept this commission. But as for the commission fee, it's not too much for Toriko and I to each get one rainbow fruit. I can't make the decision on this. I need to ask the president for instructions. Go ahead. Just when Yuhanes went to ask President Ichilong for advice, Komatsu said that he also wanted to go and take a look. After all, this was a rare rainbow fruit, and maybe he could cook it. The two of them were naturally very happy about this. Although it was okay to eat the rainbow fruit raw, who could resist the finished product made by the chef? Kin. Sata, come show your face after a long absence, the courtyard you haven't seen for a long time. Soon, Yuhanes came back and said that the president had agreed to give each person a rainbow fruit as a reward for this commission. Li Ziming and Toriko were naturally very happy after hearing this. Now they would have no shortage of fruit juice in the future, and they could also find someone to make wine. They could drink rainbow fruit wine later. Just thinking about it made them happy. Toriko then found Tom with the prey and handed over the commission to him. Upon learning that they were going to pick rainbow fruits, she also gave them a bucket of golden salmon roe, hoping that the two would have a safe journey. Toriko, Li Ziming, don't forget me after you pick the fruits. Give me some to try. Don't worry, you're not going to be left behind. Just as the three of them followed Yuhanes to the courtyard, Tina, who was hiding on the side, immediately followed them. This was explosive, no, super explosive news. Sitting in Yuhane's car, the three of them ate the bouncy golden salmon roe and walked towards the courtyard, but at this moment, Komatsu raised his own questions. Well, maybe Doraemon had eaten the rainbow fruit before we left. No, even though they are gorillas, they are carnivores. They probably build nests on the rainbow fruit tree because they rely on the fragrance of the rainbow fruit to attract other animals. Komatsu, have you written your suicide note? Maybe this is the end of your adventure. Also, you'd better write a love letter. I'll mail it to you later. Don't scare me, Mr. Li Ziming. Ha 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 ha. Soon, they arrived at the gate of Igo's 8th courtyard. When they got out of the car, they saw a towering wall blocking their way. Li Ziming looked at the wall in front of him, feeling that a super large titan would appear in the next second and break through the wall. It was indeed the attack on Titan that had intruded. If he guessed correctly, there should be 8 or 9 walls like this. Thank you for the treat, Master Toriko. No, I don't have anything to give you to eat. Alas, it seems like I do. Li Ziming, can you give them some braised meat, and some wine? Sure. Li Ziming took out several portions of braised meat and wine from the system backpack and handed them to the 2 security guards. Of course, Yuhanes was also included. He took out a portion of braised meat and handed it to him, asking him to eat for a while, and they would come out soon. Based on the current environment, the main task is now released, capturing the rainbow fruit. Task reward, 1000 points. Unexpectedly, at this moment, there was a sound of thunder from the other side of the wall. Li Ziming became excited after hearing it. He thought that this was the threat of Dorhe Chong Buddha beating his chest. But he didn't know who he was afraid of, himself or Toriko. Open the door. We're going in. The people in the monitoring room just said that Doraemon has arrived at the door. According to the regulations, if there are wild animals within 5 kilometers, the door cannot be opened. That's really troublesome, then let me open the door. Unexpectedly, when Toriko was about to use his nail fist to hammer open the wall, Li Ziming stopped him. Toriko, wait a moment, let me do it, don't cause trouble for the Igo people. After that, Li Ziming used the flying skill directly, flew up under the surprised gaze of everyone, and then flew into the 8th courtyard. Tina, who was standing by, secretly took a picture of this scene. Achievement obtained, Igo's 8th Ecological Garden. Achievement reward, 10 points. Flying in the air, Li Ziming saw the existence of Doraemon at a glance. The green-haired skin and 4 muscular arms looked very much like the legendary Saiyan after transforming into a giant ape. He was stunned for a moment. But then he immediately reacted. The little Terra King Kong was probably the arm of Igo. It cloned and copied the extinct animals and then put them in the courtyard to observe the ecology. Dara King Kong, Mammal Capture Level 9. Li Ziming instantly came in front of Dora Vatra and punched him on the chin, knocking him more than 10 meters away. Then he came in front of him again and started beating Dora Vatra violently. You call me the strongest gorilla, don't you take my giant ape transformation seriously? You little Karami, are you worthy of being called the strongest gorilla? I let you occupy the rainbow fruit tree and let you grow green hair. I will beat you to death. Li Ziming's random punches made Doraemon scream and cry, and he couldn't fight back at all. Of course, the most important thing was that Doraemon saw a black and golden-haired gorilla with red eyes appear beside him, which scared him so much that he dared not move at all. After beating up Doraemon, Li Ziming felt that the anger in his heart had subsided a little. As expected, there was still a lot of pride in the Saiyan blood. Defeat Doraemon and gain 9 points. Li Ziming stopped when he saw the system prompt. He saw that Doraemon had lost the desire to fight at this moment. He lay on the ground and looked at Li Ziming with his tongue sticking out, like a tamed puppy. It was obvious that Doraemon had surrendered to him at this moment. You've got some sense. Get out of the way. Chapter 35. Li Ziming let the Terra King Kong roll aside and came to the security gate on the city wall. You can open the door now. I defeated that Doraemon. Oh, yes, yes. Soon, the security door in the wall opened, and Toriko, Komatsu and others came over. They looked at Terra King Kong lying on the ground not far away, seeming a little bit unbelievable. Toriko even said to Li Ziming jokingly, "Why are you so excited today? You guess." "I won't guess. Let's go, and catch the rainbow fruit." The 3 of them asked the security to close the security door, and then walked towards the rainbow fruit tree not far away. On the other side, Tina was naturally unwilling to see Komatsu and Toriko go in. The big news that she had finally gotten slipped away. Seeing the 3 people at the door eating braised food, she looked at Kolipo. Li Ziming and the other 2, along with Doraemon, arrived at their target location, which was near the rainbow fruit tree, in a short time. At this moment, dark clouds swept across the sky and a drizzle began to fall, as if foreshadowing what was going to happen. There were Tarikas everywhere around the rainbow fruit tree. I didn't know how many Igo had cloned, but I thought they were all here. Seeing them roaring at him, Li Ziming couldn't help but feel a little angry. If it weren't for Shii in his heart, he would have probably gone up and killed all of these Doraemons. But now, these Terra Vatra were doomed to die, and Li Ziming felt that he needed to teach them a lesson, so he looked at Toriko and Komatsu. Toriko, protect Komatsu. I'm going to teach them a lesson. Oh. It was the first time that Toriko saw Li Ziming like this. She stood there in a daze for a moment, and only reacted when he flew over. Li Ziming flew into the air, and got angry when he saw this group of Doraemon King Kongs. He quickly moved in front of them and started to crush them unilaterally, hitting them with 1 punch and 1 kalami, and slapping them directly in the face. For a moment, all the Terra Vatras were frightened and dared not take a step forward. But at this moment, a white gorilla on the top of the mountain roared, and even though the Terra Vatra was afraid, he gritted his teeth and rushed up. Seeing so many Terra King Kongs rushing towards him, Li Ziming became excited for a moment. It was not because of anything else, but because he felt that something was happening in his body, as if something was about to burst out. Soon, all the Terra Vatras lay on the ground and expressed their submission to Li Ziming, but he knew that things were far from over. He flew into the air again, looked around, and successfully found the leader of this group of Terra Vatras. Silverback King Kong, Mammalian Capture Level 10. Li Ziming came to his side in an instant. You are the one who asked those Terra Vatra to attack me, right? Roar. Upon seeing this, Li Ziming pinned his head with a fist and pressed it directly to the ground. The Silverback King Kong did not even stand up, but chose to bow his head in surrender. It was not because of anything else, but because he saw the black and gold, red-eyed gorilla appearing behind him. After subduing all the Terrasuna, Li Ziming began to roar towards the sky. There is no doubt that Saiyans are the strongest gorillas. As Li Ziming roared, the dark clouds in the sky were also roared away, and the sun's rays were now shining around him. Feeling the warmth of the sun, Li Ziming found that there was something extra in his body, as if he could release it as long as he wanted. Li Ziming thought about it and decided to give it a try. He was standing on the cliff with the contents of his body about to come out. Some energy diffused from his body and gathered together to form a black and gold gorilla with red eyes. At the same time, a violent, brutal and rampant aura began to spread with Li Ziming as the radius. The surrounding Toriko were so frightened that they fell to the ground. Toriko, who was not far away, also felt the threat from Li Ziming and instantly felt as if he was facing a great enemy. Even Komatsu felt something was wrong, as if the air was distorted. All of this was recorded by Tina, who came in riding on Kulipo. After seeing this scene, Li Ziming realized that he actually had a food demon, and it was in the form of a giant ape. He just didn't know what was going on. There shouldn't be any food cells in his body. Master System, what's going on? Why do I have a food demon? After you came to this world, the food you ate had a large number of gourmet cells in your body. After being eaten by the Saiyan blood in your body, that is, the S cells, the functions of most of the gourmet cells were successfully integrated and awakened, so you became a gourmet demon. This gourmet demon is your own giant ape. You can control it freely and fight with it. You can also improve yourself by eating other gourmet demons. Hearing the system's answer, Li Ziming instantly became excited. It turned out that his S cells had evolved and devoured the gourmet cells, which gave rise to the gourmet demon. And the second half of the system's sentence is the key point. It can be improved by eating other people's gourmet cells. That is to say, if he fights with others, he can control the giant ape and fight directly with the opponent's gourmet demon. By cannibalizing the opponent's gourmet demon, he can defeat the opponent and improve his strength. As for who the food demon will eat, of course he will choose his enemy, and who is the enemy in this world? Of course it is Bishokyukai. Li Ziming. Hearing Toriko's shout, Li Ziming also woke up. Looking at the fallen Toriko and Komatsu lying on the ground, he realized that his deterrence was still on. He immediately retracted it and came over to check on them. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention for a moment. Damn it, if you were a little later, Komatsu would have died. Did you notice that? Oh my, I just awakened the food demon and I can't control it. What? When Toriko heard what Li Ziming said, he was stunned. It turned out that you hadn't awakened the food demon before, but you beat me like that. At this moment, Toriko had thousands of words to say, but when he got to him, he could only say one sentence. You are such a pervert. Nowhere. Li Ziming checked on Komatsu's condition. Fortunately, he just fainted and didn't suffer any damage. He should be fine after a good night's sleep. Defeat Doraemon X67 and gain 604 points, including Silverback. Achieve Silver Achievement, the submitted Terravatra group. Achievement Reward, 100 points. Now that all the Terravatras have surrendered, it is time to pick the rainbow fruits nearby. Li Ziming counted and found that this rainbow fruit tree had 10 rainbow fruits in total. Each fruit weighed about 1 or 2 tons. Obviously, they would not lack juice to drink for a long time to come. Rainbow fruit, fruit capture level 12. Coming to the rainbow fruit tree, looking at the rainbow fruits shining in 7 colors in the air, Li Ziming immediately picked one. The main mission, picking rainbow fruits, has been completed. Task reward, 1000 points. Chapter 36. Li Ziming was very happy to see that he had completed the main task and obtained another 1000 points. He looked at the system panel and became even happier. I didn't expect that I have so many points now. I feel like I can learn something new when I go back. Host, Li Ziming, Takai, gender, male, age, 20 years old, bloodline, Saiyan superior bloodline plus gourmet devil, Saiyan giant ape, 1%, combat power, 5000 points, 8407 number of times you can cross, 0 skills, air dance, Qigong wave, giant ape transformation, high speed flight, chi sensing, tail attack, nail fist, knife and fork, deterrence. Backpack, 100 cubic meters braised meat x 30 tons. Li Ziming was very happy to see a new food demon added to the panel, but he didn't understand why there was still progress. Would there be new changes after reaching 100%? With this question, he asked the system. If it reaches 100%, Qushi will evolve and become a golden giant ape. Hearing this, Li Ziming instantly became excited. Being able to transform into a golden giant ape, doesn't that mean he can become a Super Saiyan 4? Who wouldn't like that handsome and cool look? Although I can go the god level, Super Saiyan 4 is the true meaning of the bloodline level. Back to the topic, after Li Ziming put the rainbow fruit in his hand into his backpack, he began to pick other rainbow fruits, and he put all 10 in a row into his bag. At this moment Toriko couldn't bear to watch it anymore. It would be enough to just pick a few, so as not to completely disrupt their lives. Toriko, you don't understand. After I took the rainbow fruit, I was actually saving them. What do you mean? Ego has entrusted us to collect the rainbow fruit, which will surely attract countless people, but it will also attract an organization. If they want to capture it, they will definitely sneak in here. Do you think they will leave after picking the rainbow fruit, or will they leave after killing Doraemon? You mean, Bishokyukai? That's right. While the two were discussing, Johannes and his men came over, wearing explosion-proof suits, carrying 2 stretchers, one for Komatsu and the other with Tina and Kolipo on it. Apparently, she had been intimidated by Li Ziming's intimidation and fell into a coma, and was then caught by the Ego who rushed over. Johannes, you're here just in time, hurry up and lift Komatsu up. Come over to our place and tell you something. Although Johannes was confused, he walked over to Li Ziming and Toriko to hear what was going on. Bishokyukai, they're invading the Echo Zone. Li Ziming is acting as a teacher, this joke is not funny. Do you think I'm joking? After a moment of silence, Johannes still couldn't believe it. Can I ask how you knew that? Li Ziming repeated to Johannes what he had just said to Toriko. Hearing this, he fell silent again, because according to Bishokyukai's nature, this possibility was indeed possible. Just go back and tell President Yulong directly. Remember, tell him directly. Johannes immediately said that he would talk about it later, but he still noticed Li Ziming's last sentence and asked directly, could it be that within Ego? Then Li Ziming looked at the surrounding groups of Terra King Kongs. They were not vegetarians, loved to fight, and lived in groups. Aren't these characteristics suitable for another ecological zone? Johannes, I remember that there is a battle forest in your ecological zone. Please help me arrange these Taro Vajra. Okay. After arranging for Doraemon, everything here is done and it's time to go back and eat the rainbow fruit. Johannes brought his men, confiscated the camera, and then had Tina sent back to the unit. Then he brought the unconscious Komatsu, Li Ziming and Toriko to the Ego branch. After successfully arriving, Li Ziming gave him the remaining 8 rainbow fruits. Thank you for your help, Deputy Teacher and Master Toriko. It's a small matter. Perhaps it was because of the swaying along the way or the scent of the rainbow fruit, but Komatsu suddenly woke up and for a moment he couldn't tell where he was. Upon seeing this, Li Ziming immediately stepped forward to talk to him, but before he could say a few words, he noticed that Komatsu's eyes were fixed on the rainbow fruit. Don't look at it anymore. They're not ours. I have 2 more. So sweet, Mr. Li Ziming, Mr. Toriko. Let's go, the commission is completed, go back and help us make it. After handing over the 8 rainbow fruits, the 3 of them got into Johan's car and prepared to return to the gourmet hotel. Why go there? Of course, it was to let the chef cook in a familiar environment and make good dishes. After getting off the car and saying goodbye to Johannes, the 3 of them walked into the gourmet hotel. Li Ziming and Komatsu went to the kitchen, while Toriko found a table and started ordering food. When they arrived at the kitchen, Li Ziming took out some rainbow fruit and cut off dozens of pounds of it with a knife, and asked Komatsu to prepare the dish in the most suitable way. Let Komatsu help in the kitchen. Li Ziming sat on the somersault cloud, found Tom and invited him to come over and taste tonight's food, but before that. Tom, is there any beverage machine? Preferably one that can hold dozens of tons of beverages. Yes, the central wholesale market has everything you can think of. Soon under Tom's leadership, Li Ziming successfully bought a super large beverage machine, but it was also very expensive, costing 10 million for one. Since it was so cheap, he directly bought 5. The next step is to buy some water. Although rainbow fruit juice can be added to any water, good fruits must be paired with good water. With Tom's introduction, Li Ziming bought the most expensive water currently available, water that gushed out of a mountain, air water. A bottle of 1 liter cost 10,000 yuan. Li Ziming had a quick taste and it was incredibly delicious. The moment it entered his mouth, it felt like breathing. It contained a lot of oxygen and was very easy to drink. This was it. He decisively spent 500 million yuan to buy 50 tons of atmospheric water, and then poured it into the beverage machine. Of course, good water must be paired with fruit pulp, so Li Ziming directly cut a piece and put it in. In an instant, 50 tons of air water turned into rainbow fruit air juice. He immediately took a cup, and started drinking. It is sweet and mellow, and especially smooth in the mouth. The sweetness of hundreds of fruits sweeps over you, as if you are in a tropical jungle and have become one of the fruits there. When he came to his senses, he had already finished a glass of juice. Just when he was about to order another glass, he saw Tom drooling, so he simply poured him a glass as well. He put the beverage machine into his backpack, called for the somersault cloud, pulled Tom on it, and flew towards the gourmet hotel. Soon they arrived at the hotel, and Toriko had ordered countless delicacies and was sitting at the dining table enjoying the food. When she saw the two of them coming back, she immediately called them over to eat something. Li Ziming and Tom were not polite and sat at the dining table, drinking wine, eating delicious food, waiting for Komatsu to cook the rainbow fruit. Suddenly, a sweet smell came over, and everyone present was attracted by the smell and drooled. Komatsu also came over with a cart. "Sorry to have kept you waiting, the rainbow fruit is here." Komatsu lifted the lid of the pot, and a portion of rainbow fruit pudding appeared in front of everyone. The smell in the air became sweeter. At the same time, as the temperature rose, a colorful rainbow floated above the rainbow fruit pudding. Li Ziming felt that the sweet fragrance of the rainbow fruit pudding was sweeter than fruit juice. At that moment, a large amount of saliva gushed out and he couldn't stop it at all. It really has to be this way, swallowing saliva, it tastes best this way. The temperature of the pudding is kept at 5 degrees. As the temperature rises, the taste will change. Looking at the bouncy rainbow fruit pudding, the four of them began to taste it. Thanks to all the food in the world, we are about to eat. X4 I saw them each scoop out a piece of pudding with a spoon. It was obviously just a small piece, but it felt like a big stone, as if it was pressing on their wrist. Li Ziming put it into his mouth and tasted it. The moment he took a sip, his taste buds seemed to be shocked. Different from the just right sweetness of fruit juice, this taste seemed to be the concentrated sweetness of hundreds of watermelons, and the sourness like an assassin, looming. As the temperature in the mouth rises, all kinds of fruit flavors come out, sometimes it's the sweetness of mango, sometimes it's the sweetness of chestnut, and sometimes it's the sweetness of grape. It's like opening a department store, offering all kinds of sweetness. As Li Ziming swallowed the rainbow fruit pudding, the sweetness directly penetrated his entire stomach and was then transported to various parts of his body by countless red blood cells. At the same time, his body also felt an unprecedented sense of satisfaction. This is the power of sweetness. Before Li Ziming could react, Toriko burst into tears of satisfaction. It's delicious, so delicious, how can there be such a delicious pudding? Dessert is settled. I finally have a place on my life menu. From now on, the rainbow fruit will be my dessert. Li Ziming naturally knew about this situation a long time ago. Although Toriko liked to eat this pudding very much, it was still too sweet for Li Ziming. Compared to this kind of sweetness, he still preferred the lighter sweet taste. Congratulations, Toriko, your life menu is finally open. No, if it weren't for you picking the rainbow fruit, I wouldn't be able to eat it. Toriko then looked at everyone present, and he was so excited that he wanted to share this delicacy. Komatsu, prepare some more spoons so that everyone can taste the deliciousness of this rainbow fruit pudding. Okay, Mr. Toriko. Seeing Toriko happily sharing the food, Li Ziming couldn't help but laugh. She is indeed the child of the world chosen by the world. This is the charm of Toriko. Just as they were sharing the rainbow fruit pudding, the Bishokyukai on the other side noticed Li Ziming at this moment, not because of anything else, but because he took away all the rainbow fruits. Starjun listened to Jiao Niang's report and watched the video of Li Ziming's battle and the appearance of the food demon. His expression suddenly became serious. Li Ziming, the acting teacher of Shilin Temple. Interesting. Chapter 37. A famous fortune-telling expert said that the once-in-a-decade migration of puffer whales is about to begin. The stocks of many companies that employ food hunters continue to rise. Everyone is very excited. Who will catch the legendary puffer whale? In the biscuit house, Toriko, who had woken up early, saw the news and immediately went to Li Ziming's room and pulled him up. The puffer whale is back. Li Ziming. Li Ziming, who was sleeping in a daze, looked at Toriko who was so excited. Although he was a little confused, he still heard the three words puffer whale accurately and became energetic all of a sudden. Zundu, fake dudu. Zundu zundu. Although Li Ziming had eaten puffer whale in Qilin Temple, it didn't mean that he didn't want to catch some. Moreover, he had a large system backpack. He could catch some and put them in the backpack. If he wanted to eat them, he could eat them anytime. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Li Ziming, hurry up and clean up. I've called Komatsu. Oh wow, it looks like the chef is here. Soon, the two of them packed up, but there was not much to pack, so after eating some biscuits, they set off for the high-speed rail station. Komatsu had already taken leave and came here. After seeing the two people, he immediately greeted them. The three of them officially met up and got on the high-speed train. As soon as he got on the train, Toriko bought all the wine on the train, calling it a celebration, because after all, it was a puffer whale that only returned after 10 years. Looking at Toriko who was drinking heavily, Li Ziming felt helpless. Drinking so early in the morning, he had no choice but to accept it. If you drink, then I will drink juice. He took out 2 cups of rainbow juice from the system space, one for himself and one for Komatsu. Thank you, Mr. Li Ziming. Komatsu, aren't you excited? We'll let you practice when we catch a puffer whale. Really? Thank you so much, Mr. Li Ziming. It's a must. When Toriko saw them drinking rainbow juice, she immediately put down the bottle in her hand and said she wanted to drink it too. What could Li Ziming do? He could only take out another glass of rainbow juice and give it to him. After taking the rainbow fruit, Toriko then looked at Komatsu. Puffer whale is a super special cooking ingredient, can you do it? I'll try my best, Mr. Toriko. There are no more than 10 people in this world who can perfectly dissect a puffer whale, so we can go find someone halfway, the fortune teller who provided the information. With him here, I think you should be able to learn some tricks. As expected of a super special cooking ingredient, I will study twice as hard, Mr. Toriko. On the other side, in the divination town, a divination expert who was fortune-telling for people immediately sensed an ominous premonition, fortune told himself, and immediately had the answer in his mind. The foodie with 3 scars under his left eye is coming over. It's such a headache. At this moment, this foodie is drinking wine, eating snacks and braised food on the high-speed train, and he is very happy. Although the 3 of them enjoyed the meal very much, others couldn't stand it, such as other food hunters. Soon, a tall, rough-looking man dressed in animal skins came over with his 3 younger brothers. Hey, I was wondering why I couldn't find any wine. Turns out you have it all here. Do you know who I am? I am Master Zonkai, the gourmet hunter. BD. Achieve gold achievement, timely rain zombie, Zongpi, Zonkai who came to your rescue. Achievement reward, 1000 points. Li Ziming looked at the big man in front of him. Isn't this the wife of the Ape King, the inconspicuous gourmet hunter, the last food-loving zombie? Oh no, Zonkai? Although he looks very unreliable, he is quite in line with this achievement. After all, he has so many titles. In this world, Zonkai is actually the equivalent of Satan in Dragon Ball. His strength is very average, but he is useful, and very useful. Without Li Ziming's move, Toriko stood up on his own initiative. With a height of more than 2 meters, he directly overwhelmed Zonkai. The harsh words he was about to say were instantly silenced. Toriko didn't think so either. After all, in his eyes, Zonkai was not a threat at all. If there was a threat to him, at least dozens of capture level 30 or 40 meows would surround him. Only then would he be considered a threat. If you want to drink, just take a few bottles and drink, it's better than June. Oh. I'll let you go today. And my name is Zonkai. What? Underscore. Zonkai immediately grabbed a few bottles of wine and ran away with his little brothers. If he had left a step later, he felt that he would never see tomorrow's sun. After all, there is no way to save in reality. At this moment, Komatsu didn't understand why he let the other party take some of the wine. Li Ziming and Toriko were both very strong, so he shouldn't be afraid anymore. Most of the people on this high-speed train are now gourmet hunters. This show of strength is probably to warn the people around that I am not someone who can be easily manipulated. We should not look down on our fellow travelers during our journey. Although we may have fights or conflicts on the way to capture the puffer whale, we may help each other sometimes. Hearing Toriko's words, Li Ziming couldn't help but laugh out loud. It was obvious that Toriko had thought too much about Zonkai. After all, although the other party looked rough, he was a real otaku. Before Li Ziming could say anything, another great god appeared. This great god was the real great god who could stop the planets under his feet from rotating. Can you give me some of the wine? A short, trembling old man with a white crew cut came to their seats and wanted to ask Toriko and the other two for a bottle of wine. Sitting on such a fast-moving high-speed train, I feel a little carsick. Maybe drinking some wine will make me feel better. Achieve the gold achievement, a man who makes the world tremble. Achievement reward, 1000 points. When Li Ziming saw Master Jiro, he immediately stood up and respectfully handed a bottle of the best wine to Toriko and Komatsu, staring at them in confusion, which stunned the three of them. Here's the wine for you. Take it. Thank you very much, young man. I will repay you for this bottle of wine later. Watching Master Jiro walking away, Toriko and Komatsu were very puzzled as to why Li Ziming's attitude was so good. Even if he was an old man, he shouldn't be so respectful. Li Ziming just smiled and said to them. You will know in the future. I hope we won't need his kindness for the time being. Hearing this, Toriko and Komatsu became even more confused, but as the high-speed train's reminder sounded, it was time for them to get off the train and go find the fortune teller. Seeing this, the two could only put aside their doubts and immediately followed Li Ziming out of the car. After getting off the bus, the three of them walked together, but only one person was very confused. That person was Komatsu. It was a huge town, but he didn't see a single person, not even an animal. But at this moment, there was a sudden shock in the town, and a huge pterosaur beast appeared in it. Chidinosaurus, pterosaur capture level 10. It's not delicious if you boil it, it's not delicious if you bake it, it's not delicious no matter how you cook it. Hearing this, Komatsu was shocked that there was such an ingredient. But what shocked him more was that a person actually walked to the side of the pterosaur from a distance. Just when Komatsu thought that the man was going to be eaten, Karen Long actually stopped, then turned around and left in a cowardly manner. And that person also came to the three of them. This person was Coco, one of the 4 heavenly kings of Gourmet. Just as I predicted, a troublesome guest has arrived. We are naturally very happy that you can come to pick us up. As expected, you are the most gentle man among the 4 heavenly kings, Coco. Toriko, the big eater of the 4 heavenly kings, long time no see. Achieved gold achievement, the most gentle man among the 4 heavenly kings. Achievement reward, 1000 points. Chapter 38. After Coco and Toriko exchanged a few pleasantries, he looked at the other 2 people. Following Coco's gaze, he introduced his good brothers to Coco. Coco, let me introduce you. This is Komatsu, a chef who cooks delicious dishes. As for this one, I'll do it myself, Toriko. Li Ziming interrupted Toriko, then walked to Coco's side and extended his hand to him. Hello, Coco of the 4 heavenly kings. I am Li Ziming, the acting teacher of Shilin Temple. I am currently undergoing training. Coco looked at Li Ziming's outstretched hand and smiled as she also stretched out hers. Hello, Li Ziming, nice to meet you. After the 4 of them got to know each other briefly, Coco took the 3 of them out of the city of divination and walked towards their home where they lived at night. The 4 of them walked and talked and laughed along the way, and soon they came to a high mountain. During this time, Toriko also asked Coco about the current situation of Zebra, the problem child among their 4 kings. He was caught and is now serving his sentence in food jail. Finally caught, that problem child, I guess he ate too much this time. Epsilon equals Omicron asterisk, oh my, it's been so long since the 4 of us trained together. Yes. As the 2 were reminiscing about the past, a pitch-black crow flew over their sky and slowly landed next to them, successfully scaring Komatsu. It appears. The crow monster. Are you here for me, Keith? Isn't this the guardian bird of the sky, the imperial crow? Isn't it extinct? The human world is extinct, but there are still many in the food world, Toriko. King Crow Keith, Birds and Beasts Capture Level 3050 Achieve Silver Achievement, the Ruler of the Sky, the Emperor Crow. Achievement Reward, 100 points. Li Ziming looked at the newly acquired achievement and didn't expect that Coco's partner could also obtain it. Does that mean that Terry, the Queen Snake, and the Dharma Horse will also have a chance in the future? And this is only a silver achievement. Will the real 8 kings be a gold achievement? Li Ziming was happy just thinking about it. Then Coco came to the side of the King Crow and introduced him to the 3 people. This is my family, Keith. Can you carry 4 people? Sure. Coco and the other two sat on Keith's body. As soon as they got up, Li Ziming began to stroke Keith's feathers. It must be said that they were very soft, which made him want to pluck a few. He was worthy of being an emperor crow. Soon, they sat in Keith and came to Coco's house, on top of a huge stone pillar. From here, they could observe the scenes in all directions and even see the shadow of the divination city not far away. If it were in a sandbox game, this place would indeed be the best base. Back home, Coco started preparing delicious food for the three of them. Komatsu also volunteered to help Coco, after all, he had the ability to do so. After a while, 7 or 8 home-cooked meals were ready, and the 4 of them sat down to eat, chatting as they ate. Seeing this, Li Ziming took the initiative to take out 4 large cups of rainbow juice and placed them in front of them. Coco was shocked when she saw this scene. Where did Li Ziming get the juice from? What kind of ability does this have? It seems like you guys have made quite a lot of progress. You even made rainbow juice. I guess you've decided on your dessert, Toriko. Of course, my dessert is rainbow jelly, so you have a few more on your life menu. Afterwards, Coco happily told her own life menu. The soup was Tears of the Dragon, capture level 21, the fish dish was Bresso's Swordfish, capture level 18, the meat dish was G2 Fire Phoenix, capture level 25, the salad was New Tomato, capture level 12, and the dessert was the Fruit of Ditem, capture level 30, all of which were very nutritious and balanced dishes. What we haven't decided yet are the appetizer, the main course, and the drinks. After Coco finished talking about her life menu, she looked at Li Ziming. Her intention was obvious, and she obviously wanted to know what his life menu was. Looking at the expectant eyes of the other 3, Li Ziming simply said his own. I don't have a life menu yet. My situation is special and I haven't encountered the right ingredients yet. You could say I haven't figured out which plate I want to put this world on yet. The 3 of them were already very confused, and now they were even more confused. However, Toriko and Coco sensed something. Could it be that ingredient? If Li Ziming knew what they were thinking, he would probably laugh out loud. After all, it was and it wasn't. The 4 of them ate and drank rainbow juice. After they had eaten and drunk their fill, Coco started talking about business. Well, you guys came here for more than just a reunion and a meal. The purpose is to commission work, to capture puffer whales, right? Bingo! That's right, Coco is one of the 10 people who can perfectly dissect a puffer whale. Although she is not a chef, she can sense how to start. But even so, he only has a 50% chance of catching a puffer whale, and the probability of dissecting and removing the venom sac of a puffer whale without cutting open the venom sac is estimated to be less than 1 in 10. After all, only 0.2 grams of puffer whale venom is enough to kill a person. If you are not careful, the whole fish will be inedible. Of course, the number of people who can openly perform dissection can be counted on 2 hands, but in fact, as long as one has learned the meaning of food, they can perfectly remove the venom sac and even make it impossible for the puffer whale to detect it. But Toriko was still very satisfied. After all, he couldn't dissect a single one. The probability of only 1/10 of Coco's was already very high. Besides, there was Komatsu. Maybe he could learn something. At worst, he could just come back 10 years later. There's more bad news. To capture the puffer whale, you need to go through a maze that is 10 kilometers long and 800 meters deep where the beasts live. And the most troublesome thing is that they're live monsters from hell, demon snakes from ancient times that are as powerful as the strongest fighting wolves. Hearing this, Li Ziming laughed wildly in his heart. It was not for any other reason. The devil snake was nothing, and it was worthy of being compared with the fighting wolf. It had never appeared in the food world, and might have been eaten to extinction by the fighting wolves. That's why it ran to the cave in the human world to hide, fearing that it would really become extinct one day. Unexpectedly, Toriko was the first to laugh. Of course he knew it was dangerous, but he was willing to do it for the delicious food. You can see our death, can you see a little bit? Coco immediately activated her ability to take a look, and found that the 3 people did not look dead at all, but instead had a golden look. Don't you see that we have Li Ziming in charge here? He had a fight with Dad a few days ago. Even though he lost in the end, he is still several times stronger than me. What? Hearing this, Coco looked at Li Ziming in disbelief, and then she realized that the electromagnetic waves from his body were so strong that she could faintly see lightning, and the range was several times that of him and Toriko. Yeah, I'm here, nothing unexpected will happen, don't worry, Coco. And do you want to learn some food etiquette from me? Chapter 39. Food Justice. Seeing Coco looking at him with confusion, Li Ziming simply explained to him the meaning of Shi'ai. When Coco learned that he became so strong because of Shi'ai's training and that he could also learn it, he was tempted. However, when he thought of the puffer whale that was about to arrive, he hesitated. Okay, but the puffer whale will soon swim back, so why don't I go back and learn it later? That's fine. You'll have to learn it sooner or later anyway. I'm just teaching you in advance. Well, time is almost up, let's go first. The four of them then got ready and headed for the beast cave where the puffer whales were returning. Although Li Ziming could dive directly into the deep sea and remain unharmed given his physical condition, he might disturb the puffer whales and cause their venom sacs to rupture, so he finally chose to give up. After a while, the four of them set off, Coco and Komatsu on the Emperor Crow, while Li Ziming and Toriko sat on the somersault cloud and flew over. At this time, in front of the cave where the puffer whales swam back, countless gourmet hunters came to challenge, just to capture the puffer whales worth 500 million each. Among them, only a 0.1% chance of reaching the sandy bay where the puffer whales spawned, and the rest would all be killed by the beasts on the way. Of course, in addition to food hunters, there are also food reporters. That is naturally the fearless food TV reporter Tina. None of the other food reporters dared to come. Only she came and recorded the news headlines alone. With Kolapo's reminder, she noticed the presence of Toriko and Li Ziming, and immediately ran over to check. When she got closer, she found that Coco from the Four Heavenly Kings was also present. Oh my god, this is huge news, my friends, this is a photo of 2 of the 4 Heavenly Kings, I'm going to be famous. But at this moment, Coco's face turned dark, please don't point the camera at me, I don't like people taking pictures of me. Before Tina could continue asking, a scream suddenly came from inside the cave, attracting everyone's attention. The next second, the scream gradually disappeared. Obviously, one of the gourmet hunters who went in had died. At this moment, Komatsu and Tina's faces turned pale with fright. After all, someone died not far from them, which was still very scary for ordinary people. After taking a look, Li Ziming, Toriko and Coco prepared to go in, after all, the puffer whale was about to float up. Komatsu, don't stray too far from us. There are all kinds of ferocious beasts and poisonous insects in this cave. If you get bitten, you'll die. Got it? Okay, Mr. Toriko. At this moment, Tina, who was standing next to them, looked at the 4 people going away, remembered the screams just now, and thought about the exclusive news about puffer whales. Finally, she successfully overcame her fear and stopped Toriko and the others. Dreamlike ingredient puffer whale. I think everyone in the world wants to know about puffer whale. Let me tell the delicious news about puffer whale and pass it on to the world. So, Toriko, Coco, Li Ziming, can I come with you? If you want to come, then come. The day you meet here is a lucky day, and all other days are unlucky days. Great. As a thank you, I have some lighting equipment that I can lend to you. Based on the current location, the main task is now released, capturing the puffer whale. Task reward, 2000 points. Just like that, the 4 people became 5 and walked into the cave. With high-tech headlights, they could see the way forward clearly, but Li Ziming still felt something was wrong. The Saiyans could not see at night, so he could only rely on Qi to sense the creatures around him in the dark cave. Upon seeing this, Li Ziming immediately asked the system if there were any skills or props that could help him with his night vision and improve his combat effectiveness. He had obtained several gold achievements today, and his points had now reached 11,507. Master System, is there any way to give me night vision? Yes, there are several ways to get night vision. First, buy permanent night vision eye drops. 1 drop of night vision eye drops will give you an immediate effect and will last forever. You need 1000 points. Second, buy the white eye, improved version, telescope, perspective eye, inside eye, you can't afford to lose, you can't afford to be fooled, you need 5000 points. Third, buy Sharingan, improved version, single move 1 word, cool, need 5000 points. Fourth, buy the Samsara eye, improved version, I have all the functions of the above ones, but there is only 1 word, expensive, need 1,000,000 points. Looking at these methods, although the first one, night vision eye drops, is the fastest and quickest, and requires fewer points, Li Ziming still feels that it is a loss. As for the last one, he simply can't afford it. At this rate, it may take a few more worlds to get it. But Li Ziming was curious about what this improved version meant. Improved version? How should I tell you about this improved version? What is an improved version? He. Without further ado, Li Ziming directly bought the improved version of the Sharingan. As for why it wasn't the Byakugan, it was because he didn't want to develop cataracts, and besides, the Sharingan looked cool. Which middle school boy wouldn't desire to have a Sharingan? And he can also transform into a giant Saiyan ape. Have you ever heard of the Mangeki Saiyan ape? No, let's do an ultimate invincible Tsukuyomi, wahahahaha. Master System, I want to buy an improved version of the Sharingan. Minus 5,000 points get a pair of single Magatama Sharingan. Li Ziming felt a sudden pain in his eyes, and then he found that he could see clearly in the dark, and everything around him seemed to be a little slower. As the Sharingan was opened, he was surprised to find that his pair of single Magatama did not consume his pupil power. Instead, it consumed the energy in his body and was gradually absorbing his appetite. It seemed that it would soon transform into double Magatama. At this moment, Li Ziming is no longer just an ordinary Saiyan, but a Saiyan with the Sharingan. Ha 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 ha. Just when he was about to continue on his journey, he found that Toriko and Komatsu were missing, and Tina was also missing, but fortunately Coco was not far away from him. Coco also observed the changes in Li Ziming's magnetic field at this time. It actually became stronger. Although she was confused, she still put her mind at ease. Where are those guys, Coco? Promise. Following the direction Coco pointed, Li Ziming saw 3 people squatting in the corner, eating something with a crunching sound, while Tina was taking pictures next to them. When I walked in, I saw that they were actually eating mushrooms with red and blue spots. They were really not afraid of lying on the bed. Crispy mushroom, mushroom capture level 1. The fungus is as its name suggests, it tastes very crisp, and seeing Komatsu and Toriko eating it, it is obviously not poisonous. Mr. Li Ziming, come and try it, it's so delicious. Li Ziming then squatted down, picked a crispy mushroom and started eating it. I have to say, when the teeth touched the mushroom, he could clearly feel the crispness. Not only did it taste particularly sweet, but with this taste, it felt especially suitable for drinking. Toriko, Komatsu, pick more and use them as snacks later. Oh. Chapter 40. In the puffer whale cave, Tina was holding a camera and filming Li Ziming, Toriko and Komatsu picking crispy mushrooms. Suddenly, she heard some panting behind her. Turning around, the light shone on their faces. It was none other than Zonkai Zombie. A monster. I am the Gourmet Hunter Zonkai. Gourmet Hunter, could it be that you have already captured the puffer whale? Of course, I have eaten several of them, hehe. Zonkai boasted. Can you let me see it? This is big news. At this moment, a rustling sound was heard behind them. Zonkai and his younger brother were so scared that they stood at attention and ran out of the cave immediately. But Tina mistakenly thought that they had really captured the puffer whale, so she followed them out. She was careless and lost the big picture. By the time the mushroom-picking trio discovered them, Tina and Zonkai had already run out of the cave. I didn't see them die, they should be fine. They became a group of 4 again and set off again, heading deeper into the cave, combining Toriko's nose, Coco's electromagnetic wave detection, and Li Ziming's aura perception. They soon found the road leading to Shan, but there were dangerous beasts blocking the road. For example, the scorpion Layla and the cockroach bully's child, Scorpion Cockroach, who appeared at the foot of the cliff not far from the 4 people. Scorpion Cockroach, insect beast capture level 7. Looking at Li Ziming, who was captured at level 7, he was just about to go over to earn some points, but Toriko's words made him feel sick. These scorpions and cockroaches are inedible, and looking at the blood on their mouths, I think some gourmet hunters were eaten by them. Eat and be eaten, this is what it's like for gourmet hunters in the wild. Let me do it. Before Li Ziming could prepare to intimidate them, Coco took the first step. He took off his arms and the hat on his head. In an instant, his body turned purple and jumped towards the group of scorpions and cockroaches. The moment they landed, scorpions and cockroaches surrounded them, but the next second, they seemed to have seen some natural enemy and ran away without saying a word. Seeing this, Li Ziming and Toriko looked at each other and immediately jumped down with Komatsu. Did I scare you? It's okay now. It's okay, it's okay. As for the poisonous body, I have some understanding of it. The most regrettable thing about Coco is that in such a gourmet world, she can't bring out the effect of her physique at all. If she were in that fantasy world, her body that is immune to all poisons would not only be able to make antidotes, but also fuse and make new toxins, and she would be able to dominate the entire Xiaoqian or Daqian world. Wouldn't that be easy for her? Although Li Ziming understood, it did not mean that Komatsu also understood. Seeing this, Toriko immediately explained it to him. Some crazy scientists even wanted to dissect Coco, just to make a new serum and figure out why Coco is immune. But because Coco disagreed, he was almost isolated as a level 1 dangerous person. It was only because of President Yulong's protection that he was able to walk in the outside world. After hearing this, Komatsu finally understood what Coco had been through and why he didn't become a gourmet hunter but became a fortune teller instead. This was also the reason why he hated cameras. Looking at Coco's receding figure, the three of them immediately followed. Soon, the four found another big pit. At the same time, a salty smell of seawater floated in the air. It was obvious that as long as they could get down safely, they would soon reach Shan. I'm leaving first. Looking at the three people who were preparing to rappel with ropes, Li Ziming activated the air dance technique directly, and under the gaze of the three people, he flew lightly downwards. Wait for us, Mr. Li Ziming. Then hurry up. Seeing this, Komatsu jumped onto Coco's back and said to him, Mr. Coco, let's go and catch up with Mr. Li Ziming. But I have poison in my body. It's okay, it's okay. Seeing this, Coco felt very warm in his heart. He thought that he had not seen someone who didn't care about his toxic body for a long time. Moreover, he met two of them at once, which made him very happy. Li Ziming, who was watching this scene at the moment, was very pleased. As he flew slowly downwards, dozens of Haiying appeared in front of him, which meant that the route they had chosen was correct. Haiying, insect capture level 1, but at this moment, a scream came from below. Li Ziming immediately gestured to the three people and then flew downwards. As soon as I came down, I saw a big man throwing something at the demon snake. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be a person. The bearded uncle looked familiar. Could this be the gourmet hunter who kidnapped Komatsu? Demon snake, reptile capture level 21. Seeing that the demon snake had already killed the man, Li Ziming naturally felt that this man could not be kept alive, so he simply came directly to Uncle Beard, knocked him to the ground with one punch, and threw him in front of the demon snake, giving him a taste of his own medicine. Defeat the gourmet hunter Uncle Huzi and get point 1. Looking at the points I got, I am really a newbie. I could only use a little cleverness to get to this place, otherwise I would have been eaten by some beast long ago. Soon, Coco, Toriko and Komatsu also came down. Seeing this scene, they were very confused as to why Li Ziming didn't go to save that person. This person, in order to escape, threw another person next to the demon snake just now, just to attract its attention. Hearing this, the three of them reacted instantly, and Komatsu also understood a truth. If Toriko, Li Ziming and Coco had not been around, he might have been in the same situation, kidnapped and used as bait. The most dangerous thing in the wild is not wild animals, but humans. You never know when you might be stabbed in the back due to a dispute over interests. Watching the demon snake spit and corrode Uncle Beard, it then looked at the four people. Li Ziming left a word and immediately rushed up. I'm on it, you guys can do whatever you want. The only threat that the demon snake could pose to Li Ziming was the poison in his body, but with the demon snake's ability, it was no match for him in terms of speed or strength. However, this also reminded him that he needed to increase his antibodies against the toxin. Li Ziming saw a giant gourmet ape condensed behind him. With one threat, the demon snake was fixed in place and dared not move, as if it had been immobilized by Monkey King. Then he launched a normal punch and hammered towards the demon snake's brain, making its head buzz. Although it had the ability to regenerate quickly, its brain was broken, so how could it regenerate? Kill the demon snake and get 21 points. Seeing this scene, Toriko knew that he was so strong, but Coco and Komatsu next to him were stunned instantly. They thought Li Ziming was strong, but they didn't expect him to be so strong. The demon snake that even Coco felt difficult to deal with was killed instantly by him with one punch. Li Ziming put the demon snake into the system space, waiting to come back and eat the puffer whale, then he could take it out and taste it. After all, this snake seemed to be quite delicious. What are you standing there for? Let's go and capture the puffer whale. Oh. Chapter 41. After successfully capturing the demon snake, the four continued to move forward and were about to arrive at Shan, where they would be able to see the legendary puffer whale. Soon, as they walked along the tunnel, a salty smell of seawater hit them in the face, with a slight scent of sea breeze. Even the sea lights around them became more numerous. The four of them instantly became excited and ran hard towards the depths of the bright tunnel. Everything around suddenly became bright, and there were glowing crystals everywhere. This must be the sandy bay in the cave. Li Ziming perceived that there were many creatures in the sea water in front of him, which must be a group of pufferfish and whales. I have to say that the surrounding scenery is so beautiful. It doesn't look like a dark cave at all. The surrounding corals and sea crystals complement each other, and this place is like a fairyland. But at this moment, the four of them also discovered footprints on the ground. Obviously someone had arrived earlier than them and had already gone to capture the puffer whale. Li Ziming knew who it was when he saw this. It was Jiro, the acupuncture master. He was the only one who could come here and capture the puffer whale before the four men arrived. Speaking of Jiro, the acupuncture master Jiro appeared, carrying a big pot on his back, which was full of puffer whales. I guess he had a great harvest. Ah, it's the old man on the high-speed train. Oh wow, you guys are here. You're awesome to be here. Master Jiro, it looks like you've made a good harvest. Hearing Li Ziming's words, everyone present was stunned. They did not expect that the legendary acupuncture master Jiro would appear before their eyes. But even so, they could not imagine that this little old man was Jiro. Even Jiro himself was shocked. He really didn't expect that he would be recognized. Oh, you know me? Yes, I am the acting teacher of Shilin Temple. Ho ho, these are the people who killed that guy. No wonder he was able to bring them here. Jiro then came in front of the crowd, put down the big pot full of puffer whales, and while it was still early, he processed some fish fin wine and prepared to serve them some, and then they could leave while drinking. Upon seeing this, Li Ziming immediately took out a blanket and a chair so that Master Jiro could sit on the beach. He also took out a portable gas stove and sake, placed them in front of Jiro, and helped him process some puffer whale fins to make fin wine. You are good, you know what I am going to do. I guess you came here just to drink fish fin wine. That's right, it's fate that we meet. As for how to catch puffer whales, I'll give you some pointers. Upon seeing this, the other three came to Master Jiro and listened to his techniques for capturing puffer whales. After all, he was teaching from a veteran gourmet hunter, and the knowledge was full of practical stuff. After Master Jiro's instruction, the four also understood the techniques of capturing puffer whales. To put it simply, they must not let the puffer whales feel threatened, and when capturing them, they must not emit any breath to stimulate them. Then, they can take advantage of this opportunity to press their acupoints and capture the puffer whales. Of course, there is another way, which is to kill it instantly without letting the puffer whale receive any stimulation, so that it cannot control the venom sac to sweep across its body. Then, be careful during the dissection so as not to cut the venom sac of the puffer whale. Then, Master Jiro taught the few people some simple acupointment pressing techniques and prepared to make fish fin wine. Master Jiro, my friend is a chef, let him help you. Oh, sure. I'll leave it to you, little friend. Oh, okay, Master Jiro. Now that we have the theory, we just need to put it into practice. Fortunately, Master Jiro is here and can look after Komatsu. Then Coco handed Toriko and Li Ziming an acupressure gun so that they could perform acupressure. However, Toriko said it was not necessary and he had his own method. He stretched out his left hand and combined the fork into one. How could this not be considered acupressure? Li Ziming saw this and fell into deep thought. Even Toriko had thought of the acupointment pressing method, so what was his own method? The Sharingan only has a single Megatama, so it can't create illusions. The food demon's deterrence will probably be poisoned as soon as it is released. I can't learn from Toriko and use a fork. Suddenly, Li Ziming thought of Sunny, one of the four heavenly kings of gourmet food. His ability is not only to control hair, but also to do various things. A strand of hair is only 0.1 microns thin, but can bear a weight of 500 kilograms. Isn't it easy to press acupoints with hair? He remembered that Sunny's ability only required 5,000 points. Li Ziming looked at his own points and found that after buying the Sharingan, he still had 6,529 points, which was enough to purchase it. But at this moment, Li Ziming suddenly realized that after buying Sunny's ability, would his hair also change and become colorful? Would his hair color also change when he turned around and transformed into a Super Saiyan? System. My hair won't turn into Sunny's too. Buy with confidence, you can control it freely and make it any color you want. After hearing the system's answer, he felt at ease to place the order. He could change his hair color at will in the future. Li Ziming was happy just thinking about it because he had never dyed his hair before. Minus 5,000 points get Sunny's hair magic. But after placing the order, Li Ziming found that he still couldn't control his hair. Just when he was wondering, he felt as if there was something extra inside his body. After feeling it carefully, he discovered that Sunny's hair demon had actually entered his body. But at this moment, the giant ape suddenly discovered it, pounced on the hair demon, and began to bite it frantically, but the hair demon lay motionless and allowed the giant ape to eat it. The next second, Li Ziming was surprised to find that the surface of the giant ape's body had changed. The originally black hair began to turn into various colors. After a while, the hair demon was devoured by the giant ape, and the giant ape's hair turned into colorful black. At the same time, he found that he could control his hair, but that was not the point. Just when he thought the giant ape's hair would always be like this, as he wished, the giant ape's hair turned back to black, and Li Ziming finally felt relieved. He really couldn't imagine that in future battles, others would be normal food demons, while he would be a colorful giant ape, and then the enemy would mock him. Smash, you foodie devil are pretty fashionable. Fortunately, he was able to control himself now and keep his black hair, otherwise he really didn't want to exchange for Sunny's ability. Now that Sunny's abilities have been integrated, his combat power has been improved and has reached 6,000. When I have points in the future, I can redeem them for abilities of other 4 heavenly kings, combining 4 abilities in one. Li Ziming is happy just thinking about it. Back to the topic, now that we can control our hair, it's time to go down and capture the puffer whale. Li Ziming, Toriko Coco looked at each other, took off their shirts and jumped directly into the sea. It must be said that the water in this shallow area is crystal clear and there are all kinds of creatures living here. For example, squid tuna, snake sharks, bull sharks, ramen jellyfish, highway oarfish, etc. and of course the target of their trip, the puffer whale. Puffer whale, fish and mammals capture level 29. Suddenly, a huge puffer whale appeared in front of the 3 people. They naturally knew that a puffer whale could not be so big in the shallow sea. As they approached, they found that there were thousands of puffer whales gathered together, which led to the scene they saw. The 3 people in the water became excited immediately when they saw the puffer whales appear, and they were ready to use their various skills to capture these puffer whales. Li Ziming also chuckled. It seemed that the points he had just spent would be earned back from the puffer whale soon. Gulu, brothers, I'm on first. Chapter 42. Li Ziming separated from Coco and Toriko and swam towards the group of puffer whales. Since he learned the justice of food, the cruelty and bellicosity unique to the scions in him were gradually removed from his food zen and then integrated into the gourmet giant ape. With the thought of gratitude in mind, Li Ziming gradually began to approach the group of puffer whales. At this time, the surrounding puffer whales seemed to have chosen Li Ziming and swam in front of him. Li Ziming was very happy to see that he was chosen by the puffer whales. This was a two-way journey. At this moment, Toriko and Coco, who were not far away, were very shocked when they saw Li Ziming surrounded by puffer whales. They did not expect that the sensitive puffer whales would take the initiative to approach him. Seeing more and more puffer whales around, Li Ziming immediately controlled the hair that was invisible to the naked eye, and inserted it into the gills of the puffer whales one by one, and then directly pressed the acupoints on their heads. The next second, with Li Ziming as the center, all the puffer whales within a 100-meter radius stopped swimming and began to float in the water. Li Ziming was very satisfied with the result. The acupointment pressing was completed, and it was time to send them on their way. The hair instantly drilled into the brain of the puffer whale and captured it. Capture puffer whales X100, and get 2,900 points. The main mission, capturing the puffer whale, has been completed, and the points are 2,000. At the moment of the instant kill, Li Ziming put the puffer whales into the system backpack. After all, it cannot hold living things. After accumulating 1 million points it can be upgraded to a small world, and then it can hold living things. At this moment, Toriko and Coco were instantly stimulated after seeing this scene. They immediately used their magical powers to start capturing puffer whales. Coco immediately hid her life breath, merged with the sea water, slowly came to the front of the puffer whale, and then used the acupuncture gun to successfully capture one. Seeing this, Toriko immediately followed suit, and his violent aura disappeared without a trace in an instant, like a ball of unconscious sea water, and soon he arrived in front of a puffer whale. He turned his left hand into a fork, stretched out a finger, pointed it at the gill of the puffer whale, and then quickly pressed the acupoints on him. Although it was fast, the violent aura of his body at that moment was still captured by the puffer whale and poisoned instantly. However, Toriko did not lose heart. Thinking back to what had just happened, he calmed himself down again, came to another puffer whale, and repeated the same trick. This time, Toriko succeeded. The puffer whale stopped swimming instantly and floated in front of him. Toriko happily put the puffer whale into the net bag, and then started capturing it again with Coco. In order not to disturb the two people, Ziming swam directly into the deep sea for a distance. Only then did he discover that there were more puffer whales here. Apparently, there was more than one in Shan. The number of puffer whales was far more than what they saw. It was estimated that there were at least several thousand, if not tens of thousands. In that case, he didn't hesitate and manipulated his hair again to start acupressure and capture puffer whales. Soon, the puffer whales also dived into the deep sea. Ziming then stopped and looked at the system backpack. He found that the number of puffer whales had reached 500. There was no shortage of raw fish to eat for the time being. If they had finished eating, he could just go back to the deep sea to catch more. Capture 400 puffer whales and earn 11,600 points. Ziming started the return journey with the puffer whale, only to find that Toriko and Coco had disappeared. Apparently, they had returned to Shan. As soon as he got ashore, he saw several people waiting for him on the beach. Apparently they had been back for a while. He looked at their catch and found that after special training from Master Jiro, the two of them had captured 20 puffer whales. But what puzzled Ziming was why Master Jiro disappeared. Did he go back? Where's Master Jiro? After cooking the fish fin wine, he left. But he left a message, saying that something strange was approaching Shan, and asked them to catch it and leave quickly. Hearing this, Ziming laughed. This strange thing is the GT robot controlled by Bishokyukai Star Jun. He can try it later to see if he can keep it. If he gives it to Igo, he may get a reward. Ziming, how was the harvest? It's okay. At least I can eat it until the next time the puffer whale comes back. Awesome, now comes the main event. Looking at these 20 puffer whales, Coco didn't expect there would be so many, but he was in very good condition now, without any fatigue from fighting the demon snake. As he spoke, he took out the kitchen knife he carried with him and began to dissect the puffer whales and remove the venom sacs. As Coco started, the other three looked at him nervously. Komatsu did not dare to relax for a moment. After all, it was the dissection of a puffer whale. It would be great if he could learn some skills. The market price of a puffer whale is 100 million, and 500 million after the venom sac is removed. But if the venom is removed, it cannot be eaten and is worthless. Komatsu-kun, watch carefully and learn well. Coco observed for a while, concentrating his attention and not daring to relax at all. He cut open the belly of the puffer whale with one knife, and then cut another knife along the gill, and the location of the venom sac also appeared. Coco put her hand into the body of the puffer whale and slowly removed the mucous membrane around the venom sac with her hands. After it was all peeled off, she gently pulled it out and successfully took out the venom sac. The puffer whale also turned into a golden color. It worked, Mr. Coco. Coco, that's amazing. Oh, eat, eat. As Coco completed the dissection perfectly, the four of them began to celebrate. Toriko immediately started to boil sake and prepared to drink fish fin wine later. But one puffer whale is definitely not enough for 4 people, so Coco simply began to teach Komatsu how to dissect a puffer whale correctly. Ziming simply took one out of his backpack to see if he could dissect it successfully. With the help of Shi Yi, he successfully heard the sound of the puffer whale, took out his milk knife, and began to dissect it. As expected, with the help of Shi Yi, he successfully took out the poison sac in no time, and the puffer whale also successfully turned golden yellow. Seeing this scene, Ziming was very dissatisfied. It seemed that his cooking skills needed to be improved, otherwise he might be able to peel out the venom sac without the puffer whale noticing. However, he was already very satisfied. Looking back at Coco and Komatsu, as expected, the puffer whale Komatsu dissected was directly poisoned. Li Ziming saw this and thought he was still too nervous, so he came to them. Komatsu, don't be so nervous, calm down and thank you, then try to listen to the sound of the ingredients. Listen to the sounds of the ingredients. Hearing this, Komatsu calmed down instantly, as if he had entered some kind of state. He touched the puffer whale, as if he felt something, then followed his intuition and began to cut. In just a few strokes, he cut open the puffer whale's body, revealing the venom sac inside its body. He imitated Coco and slowly peeled off the mucous membrane with his hands, then took out the venom sac. The next second, the puffer whale successfully turned golden yellow. I succeeded, Mr. Li Ziming, Mr. Coco. Thank you for your teaching. If you want to express your gratitude, then we should dissect another one. That way, we can each have one and eat and drink to our heart's content. Great, Mr. Li Ziming. Not long after, Coco and Komatsu successfully dissected another one, which was enough to eat. The two then started to make sashimi, grilled the fish fins, and made fish fin wine. But at this moment, a dark shadow appeared from the deep sea, carrying a bag of puffer whales and swimming slowly towards the sandy bay. Chapter 43. The 4 puffer whales were cut into thin slices by Komatsu and Coco and placed on the large plate brought by Li Ziming. This is the advantage of having space, you can carry a lot of things. In front of everyone, there is a bottle of sake paired with puffer fish whale fins. Once it is ready, it is time to taste it. Thanks to all the food in the world, we are about to eat. X4 Each of the 4 people picked up a piece of puffer whale sashimi with chopsticks and put it into their mouths to chew. It tasted sweet and delicious. As they chewed, the aroma of the oil-rich and top-grade fish meat gradually seeped out, and it had a tender texture like snowflakes. It was worthy of being a puffer whale captured at level 29. Even though Li Ziming had eaten one at Shilin Temple not long ago, he still couldn't get enough of the taste. The key is that this sashimi is very chewy. While eating it, it feels like being in the ocean, as happy and comfortable as if you have arrived in heaven. The moment they swallowed it, an electric current instantly hit the bodies of the 4 people. Their fatigue disappeared and they instantly became energetic. At the same time, Komatsu's already thin body seemed to be strengthened. It seemed that the effect of the puffer whale in strengthening the body had appeared. After eating the puffer whale sashimi, I had a glass of fish fin wine. It was warm and mellow in the mouth, worthy of being the wine that Master Jiro also came to drink. Komatsu, who was drinking wine just now, was so moved that he burst into tears after drinking it. It was the first time for him to cook such high-end food, and it was so delicious. It was really too much for him. Sure enough, the food that I have worked so hard to catch and cook is really the best. Yes, Mr. Toriko. In a short while, they had eaten all 4 puffer whales and drank almost all the fish fin wine, and Komatsu was almost drunk. But under the puzzled gazes of the other 3, Li Ziming actually stood up and did radio gymnastics, not because of anything else, but because the GT robot was about to arrive. Toriko, Coco, Komatsu, stand back, I'm about to start a fight. Hearing this, Toriko and Coco thought they were going to fight, and just as they stood up, a black GT robot walked out from the sea with a captured puffer whale in its hand. Achieved Silver Achievement, Starjun who loves to control GT robots. Achievement Reward, 100 points. Seeing that it was only a silver achievement, Li Ziming frowned slightly, but when he thought that this was not the real person, it was okay. He estimated that when they actually meet, it should be a silver achievement. I just don't know if there will be a platinum achievement when Starjun and Toriko are together. At this moment, Starjun also looked at the 4 people. With just one glance, Toriko and Coco instantly felt a sense of crisis. They instantly entered a combat state, and Coco directly turned into a poisonous person. Li Ziming came in front of Starjun and blocked his way. Hey, are you going to stop me? Li Ziming, the acting teacher of Shilin Temple. Epsilon equals Omicron asterisk, alas, I didn't want to stop you, but you were too ruthless and killed all the creatures in the sea. I just need to arrest you and hand you over to the Ego. Then let's give it a try. Starjun put down the puffer whale directly, controlled the GT robot and rushed towards Li Ziming, attacking with a punch, but the next second, Li Ziming stopped it with his hand. After feeling it for a while, Li Ziming found that apart from the metal shell of the GT robot and various protections, the power that Starjun can exert is only about 3000 combat power, which is about the capture level of 30. As for Starjun's current combat power, it is estimated to be around level 100, and he is already qualified to enter the food world. After all, he is Toriko's brother and has taken away most of the nutrients. He was born early and grew up naturally quickly. Li Ziming looked at Star-Jun in front of him and punched him directly, sending him flying. It must be said that punching a GT robot made of alloy felt really bad. It would be much better if there was a real Netero. With one step, he came in front of the flying backwards Star-Jun, kicked him into the sand, and then followed up with a series of rapid punches. After all, the number of times he could hit Star-Jun was limited, so he would defeat him as often as he could. Star-Jun was beaten so badly by Li Ziming that he couldn't get up. But the next second, his beak opened and a laser beam was about to be fired. Li Ziming immediately closed the beak, making Star-Jun fail. As the fight went on, Li Ziming felt bored. This method of using the strong to defeat the weak was indeed very boring for a Saiyan like him. Li Ziming simply stopped fighting. The GT robot's body was still intact, which was better. Star-Jun was very puzzled at the moment, but he knew why the next second. Next time, try to come at me in your true form, Star-Jun, the deputy chef of Bishokyokai, or you won't be able to beat me at all. Hey, it seems you know me, acting teacher Li Ziming, you are really extraordinary. Feeling the changes in the sensors in his body, Star-Jun simply gave up. The next second, Li Ziming's hair shattered the main core in his body. Yes, it was that little robot. Looking at the limp GT robot, and then at Toriko next to him, Li Ziming took advantage of the robot's cautious signal and said something to Star-Jun. I know your life story, and I also know what you've been looking for. Defeat the GT robot, Star-Jun, and get 30 points. At this time in Bishokyokai, Star-Jun heard the last voice and his face changed several colors instantly. Seeing this, Xiao Niang came over to comfort him immediately. Master Star-Jun, the GT robot cannot bring out your strength, and your opponent is that acting teacher Li Ziming. No problem, Xiao Niang, collect all the information about Li Ziming, I want to read it carefully. Yes, Master Star-Jun. Inside the puffer whale cave. Li Ziming felt that the signal disappeared, so he simply put the GT robot into the system backpack and returned to Toriko and the other two. Coco and Toriko immediately came over to ask what the robot was and why it was so powerful. That's a GT robot made by Bishokyokai. Not only is it made of a very hard alloy, but it's also very powerful. Bishokyokai. By the way, Toriko, help me contact President Mansum. I think Igo will definitely want to study this robot. Okay. I'll ask for you. While watching Toriko making a phone call, Li Ziming, also Koko Komatsu, simply cleaned up the garbage. This place was clean when I came, so it's better to be clean when I leave as well. Full of positive energy, brothers, please put your positive energy in the comment section. Soon, Toriko came over after the call. Director Mansum said he wanted us, and he has sent someone to pick us up. That's great, let's go up first. However, as soon as the four of them walked out of Shan, they saw a giant demon snake that could press acupoints. No, it should be a variant of the demon snake, the Super Demon Snake. Super Demon Snake, Reptile Capture Level 25. I guess this is a gift from Master Jiro, otherwise he wouldn't have specifically pressed the acupoints. Seeing this, Li Ziming went straight forward and killed it. Another demon snake was added to his account. I guess I can have a good meal these 2 days. Kill the Super Demon Snake and get 25 points. Not long after, the three of them returned to the puffer whale cave. The gourmet hunters who were preparing to rob here were now all lying in the same place. It seemed that they wanted to steal Master Jiro's puffer whale, but they were all lying down due to acupuncture. Soon, the Igo people arrived here by helicopter, led by Yuhanes. After getting off, they began to surround the place and found traces of Tina. As expected, despite Tina's repeated attempts to stop her, her camera and electronic equipment were still confiscated by the Igo, which made Li Ziming burst out laughing. They then boarded a helicopter and flew towards the Igo branch. Johannes was also on the helicopter and expressed Igo's ideas. Mr. Li Ziming, we are very interested in GT robots. You can ask for anything you want. Besides, we have a new commission for the three of you, that is, capture the gem meat from the Ligaru mammoth. Chapter 44. Hearing the three words gem meat, Li Ziming, Coco and Toriko instantly became alert. This gem meat is a legendary ingredient that has been passed down since ancient times. In ancient times, it was given as a gift by the strong to their loved ones. Its dazzling light can even serve as a substitute for wedding rings. Not only does it have no meaty smell, but it also combines the delicious flavors of countless parts of meat, such as tenderloin, brisket, loin, heart, etc., which makes people linger and can't stop eating. Even a thin body will be transformed into a muscular man after eating it. So many people in ancient times went to hunt the Ligero mammoth to obtain the gem meat, on the one hand for their loved ones, and on the other hand to prove their own strength. Later in modern times, the number of Ligero mammoths has become extremely rare. Apart from the few that still survive in the Igo ecological zone, it is estimated that there are not many left in the wild. I've accepted the commission, Haynes, but what about the commission fee? This time it's quite difficult. The commission fee is the gem meat itself. Just leave a little for us. Hearing that Igo was so generous this time, not only Ziming was surprised, even Coco and Toriko were surprised. Although they were the main family, they could usually only get a little if they were commissioned. Why are you so generous this time, Johannes? On the one hand, it's because the capture level of the Ligero mammoth is high. Our Igo has set it at level 48. On the one hand, there may be people from Bishokyukai coming this time. Now several other ecological zones have been attacked. Fortunately, with your reminder last time, most of the losses were avoided. Level 48. Hearing this, Coco and Toriko fell into deep thought. It was obviously beyond their ability to capture a level 48 monster, and with the intervention of Bishokyukai, it was even more difficult. However, as they looked up at Ziming standing beside them, they suddenly felt that it was not a big deal. After all, his strength was several times greater than theirs. They felt relieved and started chatting with each other. Not long after, the helicopter flew over the sea, and a huge rocky island came into view. This is Igo's first ecological protection area, covering an area of 500,000 square kilometers and surrounded by 5,000 meter high mountains. The various creatures created by Igo through cloning have formed a unique ecosystem in this place, and the one at the top is naturally the Ligero mammoth. Another interesting point about this place is that it is a tourist attraction opened by Igo. Only 1 million people are allowed to visit each year, but most of them are the heads of state of each country and their families, or various capitalists and wealthy people. I think besides coming here to taste the food, the other purpose is to see the food competition here. Achieve Silver Achievement, Igo's first ecological garden. Achievement Reward, 100 points. Soon, the helicopter landed, and Haynes took them on an elevator to the interior of the Gourmet Research Institute to meet Director Mansom. During this period, they also saw various strange foods, such as green grass pineapple, kiwi melon, tomato apple, and other hybrid foods. There is also an overproduction of various delicacies. According to Haynes, nearly 30% of the world's delicacies are produced here. It is conceivable how much power the Igo, an international organization, has. After complicated disinfection, the Food Research Institute began to show its secret side, which is cloning, breeding, and creating various biological hybridization technologies under the guise of food research and disregarding ethics. As soon as I got off the elevator, I saw all kinds of ferocious beasts, like the giant octopus like Thulhu, the ancient monkey sheep with a monkey's body and a sheep's head, the crocodile-like mouth and the body of a python, and these animals all have a name, that is, shackle animals. They are all cloned ancient organisms, the product of the combination with modern organisms. In order to hide them from the world, these shackled animals can only remain in research institutes or live in ecological zones. After passing these shackled animals, Director Mansom, the director of Igo's Development Bureau and director of the Food Research and Development Institute, appeared on the scene. You are finally here. Welcome, welcome home. Director Mansom, long time no see. You just praised me for being handsome, didn't you? Let's get down to business first, Director Mansom. No hurry, no hurry. I've prepared my life menu. Let's eat and celebrate first. With that, Director Mansom led the 4 people to the banquet hall. The moment they entered the door, the aroma of various wines and the strong smell of meat hit them in the face. A tall wine dragon was located in the middle of the dining table. I have to say that Director Mansom's life menu is all related to wine. After all, he likes to drink, and of course he likes ingredients related to wine. This is basically the same as Master Jiro, but their life menus are hundreds of times different. Ziming and Komatsu were very shocked when they saw the dining table, which was nearly 100 meters long. It was the first time for them to see such a huge dining table. On the other hand, Coco and Toriko seemed very normal. They must have eaten there countless times. Under the hospitality of Director Mansum, they also began to sit down and taste the delicious food, especially the main course, the Dionysus dragon. Li Ziming didn't hesitate to take a big piece of meat and started eating it. It must be said that although it smelled of alcohol, after being roasted, it tasted like the mellow aroma of high-grade brandy and a strong meaty aroma. Of course, there was still alcohol, after all, it was high-grade brandy flowing in the body of the Dionysus dragon. But just as they started to enjoy the meal, a girl with short hair suddenly ran into the banquet hall. She was Sunny's sister Ling, achieved silver achievement, Toriko's unmarried and impetuous wife Ling. Achievement reward, 100 points. Ah, Chief, why didn't you call me when Toriko came? Ling, I'm sorry, I forgot you were still here. Ling came to Toriko's side with one quick step, like a well-behaved little sister. However, she only acted like this in front of Toriko, but in front of other people, she was just a little gangster. Seeing Toriko's helpless look, she really was ungrateful for what she had. After all, everyone else present didn't even have a partner, and Li Ziming even lost his appetite after seeing this. He simply took out Starjun's GT robot and prepared to negotiate terms with Director Mansum. Director, do you still want the GT robot? Yes, of course. I have a few conditions. Ask whatever you want, I'll see if I can satisfy you here. Seeing Director Mansum being so straightforward, Li Ziming fell into deep thought about what he should order. But then he changed his mind and realized that he didn't lack anything at the moment. If you want money, you can sell the puffer whale and you will have enough money. If you want food, you can go out into the wild and catch it yourself. At this time, Li Ziming discovered that what he lacked might be the qualification to make reservations at high-end restaurants. After all, the life menus of those top chefs required reservations for several years. Moreover, he still lacked a home. It was not a good idea to always live in Toriko's house. He also lacked information about food. With the information, he could go out into the wild to look for food instead of relying on his luck like a fly. After thinking about the conditions he had determined, Li Ziming told Director Mansum about them. Can you give me some land near Toriko's house? I want to build a gourmet mansion. No problem, it's a piece of cake. The IGO's intelligence department needs to open up to me. I need some information on ingredients. Sure, you can ask whatever you want. I want to make a reservation at the top chef's restaurant. I can help you coordinate this. Seeing that all of his conditions were met by Director Mansum, Li Ziming did not have any requirements, but suddenly thought of Toriko's unlimited black card. I want another unlimited black card, like Toriko's. No problem, I'll get you one in a minute. Chapter 45. Seeing that Director Mansum agreed to his conditions, Li Ziming simply handed over Starjun's GT robot. The next second, a group of staff members gathered around, picked up the GT robot and pulled it down to study it to see if they could replicate it themselves. One of the staff members came over and handed Li Ziming a mobile phone and a black card. The mobile phone can be used to contact the intelligence department of IGO, and the black card can be used for free as long as you are in an IGO member country. The password is XXXXXX and you can swipe it at will. How's it going, Li Ziming? Are you satisfied? Very satisfied, Director Mansum. I salute you. Ha ha ha, we are all family. Come on, eat and drink well. I will take you to the food arena tonight. It is very lively today. After the deal was settled, the four of them began to taste Director Mansum's other dishes, including the wine thief snails, wine scallop soup, Dionysus dragon, Dionysus onion, and a series of other delicacies. Fortunately, with the enhanced version of the S-Cell, Li Ziming was not so easy to get drunk. Although he did not get drunk, Komatsu did. Upon seeing this, Director Mansum had him taken back to the room so that Komatsu could have a good rest. After everyone had eaten and drunk their fill, Director Mansum took them to the food arena. Although this was ostensibly a place to measure the fighting power of wild animals and designate capture levels, it was actually a way for VIP customers of IGO member countries to enjoy themselves. Of course, it's not just to make them happy. IGO also opened a casino to squeeze money from the rich by betting on the beasts in the arena, and then used the money to alleviate poverty so that people in more countries can eat delicious food. Li Ziming and his team, led by Director Mansum, came to the front row of the arena. As soon as they sat down, the final battle of this arena was about to begin. From gate number 1, a dinosaur elephant came out. It was a level 17 berserker from the northern continent. Then, Out of the opponent's gate number 2 walked out an amphibious demon, the Tiger Walrus, with a capture level of 13. The third gate is an old acquaintance, that is the leader of the Doraemon, the Silverback King Kong, with a capture level of 10. Finally, there is gate number 4, which is also an old acquaintance, the strange bird grid that lives on the plateau, with a capture level of 15. The arrangement you made for Yuhanes last time was not right. The level of the Doraemon is too low, and it is difficult for them to live in the battle forest, so I arranged them here to train them first. Oh, it's all right, Chief, I just predicted that the Bishokyokai would attack, so I asked Yuhanes to arrange it. By the way, Chief, what about the request for jewel meat? Commission? No rush. We still have to wait for someone, Sunny from the 4 Heavenly Kings. He will be here tomorrow. You can go together. It will be safer. Ling, who was standing next to him, got furious when she heard this. Her annoying brother was actually coming. She felt annoyed just thinking about it and felt like they would have another fight when they met tomorrow. At this moment, in the food arena, 4 beasts also started a fight. Although their capture levels were not equal, they were all beasts living in the wild and had a very high understanding of combat. On the stage, sometimes the strange bird Grelud has the upper hand, sometimes the dinosaur elephant has the upper hand, sometimes the silverback King Kong has the upper hand, and sometimes the tiger-striped walrus has the upper hand. The 4 beasts have a lot of fun fighting each other. The audiences in the audience were enjoying the fight very much, what they wanted was the fighting process. After all, they had lived in the amusement park for many years and had no idea how dangerous the wild was. Being able to experience it firsthand, and the adrenaline rush generated by the stimulation was the happiness they wanted. Perhaps the silverback discovered Li Ziming's existence and fought very hard. It didn't take long for the winner to be decided. It turned out that the silverback King Kong won the victory. For a moment, those who bet on him to win laughed happily, while the other losers slammed the table angrily. Dear friends, today's game is coming to an end. Although it is over, please don't forget that at this time tomorrow, the legendary fighting wolf will fight the legendary demon snake. I look forward to everyone's arrival tomorrow. In order to excite everyone, 2 legendary beasts will make their appearances in advance. Everyone can place their bets during this time. As the 4 beasts were taken away by the staff, door number 5 was opened by them, and a huge super demon snake crawled out, staring at everyone present with its 3 big eyes. Super demon snake, reptile capture level 25. For a moment, the arena was silent. This was the deterrent power of the demon snake. It seemed that these VIP customers were all scared. Then the demon snake returned to the cage at door number 5, and door number 6 was opened by the staff. Under the expectant gazes of the crowd, a fighting wolf covered in white appeared, howling towards the sky as if to prove its strength to the world. The moment the fighting wolf appeared, the atmosphere in the venue instantly reached a climax. They couldn't wait to watch the battle between the legendary beasts tomorrow. Fighting wolf, mammals capture level 50-25. Achieve silver achievement, parthenogenetic clone fighting wolf. Achievement reward, 100 points. At this moment, Coco and Toriko stood up and looked at the fighting wolf on the stage, which had ended the death of a large-scale disaster in ancient times. They were so excited that their whole bodies began to tremble. In ancient times, a kind of ferocious beast suddenly appeared in the world. It was a super-large omnivorous animal with a body length of 50 meters and a weight of thousands of tons. They devoured everything at an alarming speed, turning the earth into a desert without any grass growing, and causing countless animals and plants to become extinct. However, they reproduced rapidly, and wherever they went, they would dig 3 feet into the ground to eat. The ferocious beasts were called the Death End by later generations. As they devoured continent after continent, they set their sights on the largest continent in history, the Green Paradise where the fighting wolves lived. However, as soon as the Death End landed, they were discovered by the leading fighting wolf, who then killed them all. This incident was written into a book by ancient people and passed down from ancient times to the present, which is how they got this information. The fighting wolf in front of us is their ego. After careful investigation, a small number of fighting wolf cells were found next to the fossil of the end of death. Later, after a long period of cultivation, the only fighting wolf was cloned. At this moment, looking at the fighting wolf that appeared on the stage, Toriko also noticed something wrong. He actually felt that the fighting wolf was a little bloated, and not as slender as described in the book. At the same time, Coco also discovered abnormal electromagnetic waves. Dolang's physical condition was very abnormal. He even saw signs of death. If left unchecked, Dolang would be dead soon. Just as the two were thinking about possible situations, Li Ziming spoke directly and decisively to Director Mansum. Director Mansum, your fighting wolf must be pregnant. Nanny. Chapter 46. The first ray of sunshine in the morning is the devil snake meat burger made by Igo, paired with new tomatoes, mineral cheese, and emerald green vegetables. The impact of layered deliciousness is so tempting that you can't stop. After handing over the GT robot to Igo last night, Li Ziming also gave them the demon snake to cook. When they woke up from the gourmet hotel early the next morning, they had the demon snake meat burgers to eat. He enjoyed eating this demon snake burger very much. The demon snake's meat was chewy and delicious. After being fried a little, the gravy was full and elastic. Combined with the sweet and sour taste of the new tomatoes, the refreshing green vegetables, and the sweetness of the mineral cheese, it seemed as if a delicious melody was played in the mouth. For ordinary people, one is definitely enough, but for Li Ziming, it is just enough to whet his appetite, so he called and asked the chefs to make more. Then he walked out of the room, woke up Toriko, Ling, Coco, and Komatsu in turn, and then came to the restaurant, where he saw that it was filled with burgers made with devil snake meat as Li Ziming requested. After a few people sat down, they began to taste the food. They felt very satisfied when they put it in their mouths. The impact of various delicious flavors hit their taste buds. While eating, Li Ziming discovered that Director Mansum did not show up. He then asked the staff and learned that the director was actually guarding the fighting wolf, which he did not expect. Ever since we told Director Mansum yesterday that Dolang was pregnant, the director was completely shocked. The entire Ego immediately started to operate, arranged a checkup for Dolang, and then found out that she was really pregnant, and the due date was in the next 2 days. For a moment, everyone in the Food Research Institute was shocked. Such an incredible thing as parthenogenesis actually happened right before their eyes. What's more, it was done by the clones they cloned. It was really unbelievable. Ah, my brother is here, he's also going to watch the legendary wolf fight. Nanny. After hearing Ling's words, Li Ziming thought about it and decided that since he had nothing to do now, he might as well go and watch the wolf fight and see Sunny's achievement. Let's go see how the fighting wolf is doing. Oh. Several people were about to go over with burgers in hand. Seeing this, Li Ziming directly put all the burgers on the table into the system space, and would take them out and eat them when he had time in the future, using them as his own snacks and backup resources. Under the guidance of the staff, it didn't take long for them to arrive at the venue arranged by Igo for the wolf fight. The place is full of staff members who are responsible for monitoring the health of the fighting wolves, and next to them is Director Mansum and Sunny, one of the 4 heavenly kings of gourmet. Achieved gold achievement, Sunny, the perfectionist sister of the 4 heavenly kings. Achievement reward, 1000 points. What a beautiful fighting wolf. You're so slow, you guys, and Ling. And what's wrong with your legs that look like steel pipes? I haven't seen you for so long. How come you've gained weight again? Didn't I ever tell you to stay in shape? Hearing this, Ling instantly got angry and started arguing with Sunny. I have a standard body shape, okay? My body shape has nothing to do with you, brother. How can it not matter? I am your brother, your super tomboy sister. I don't want to be lectured by my mother's brother every day. Looking at the two people quarreling, the people around were speechless. It was only until Director Mansum intervened that the two people temporarily stopped quarreling. However, judging from the situation, neither of them was willing to give in. Sunny then looked at Coco and Toriko, touching him with his hair and noticed that he had become stronger. Long time no see, Toriko and Coco. Your gourmet cells are more active than before. Your bodies have become stronger and your skin is better than before. It seems that you have eaten a lot of good food. You still can't change this bad habit of yours. Don't come up to me and touch me as soon as we meet. It's so disgusting. Yeah, Sunny, be careful of poisoning. After greeting the acquaintance, Sunny then looked at Li Ziming, and then controlled his hair to sense his situation. Unexpectedly, before he even got close, he felt that his hair was countered and he couldn't get close to him at all. Seeing this, Sunny instantly became interested in him. This was the first time he met someone with similar abilities to himself, and he was also so handsome, though a little inferior to you gentlemen in the audience. Who are you? Nice to meet you, Sunny from the 4 Heavenly Kings. I am Li Ziming, the acting teacher of Shilin Temple. Shilin Temple. Then you must have eaten the soap bubble fruit. Is it delicious? What does it taste like? I think it must be very beautiful, otherwise it wouldn't have become the food treasure of Shilin Temple. Seeing Sunny's instant excitement, Li Ziming couldn't help but take a step back. He didn't expect that Sunny actually knew about the soap bubble fruit of Shilin Temple. Seeing Sunny's excitement, he thought he would go and taste the treasure first. That, I haven't eaten it yet. What? It's such a bummer. I am still in the process of training. Once I am done, I can go capture. Brother, take me with you when the time comes. I don't think so. Bubble fruit is very shy and may only accept me. Number D. But after I catch it, I can treat you to a meal. Very good. At this moment, Toriko and the others beside him pointed at him, and it was very clear that they wanted to eat too. Li Ziming saw this and said unhappily, "You guys can't miss out." Good morning. At this time, Li Ziming thought of something, and then came to Director Mansum and watched the wolf fight with him. At this moment, the cloned fighting wolf was lying in the delivery room built by the Igo staff. He looked very leisurely, but he still saw a slight tremor, as if giving birth to a fighting wolf was a very painful thing. Seeing this, Li Ziming also asked Director Mansum about the wolf fighting situation. What's going on, Chief? What's going on? The situation is not good. Dolang is a clone after all. She is now pregnant. The lifespan of the clone cells in her body is also approaching the end. She may die after giving birth to Dolang. Hearing this, Li Ziming was helpless. After all, he was a clone. He must have realized that his life was about to end, so he used all his strength to give birth to his own offspring. Or maybe the DNA that was discovered at the end was also from a pregnant female wolf, so after it was cloned, the fetus inside its body was also cloned and continued to grow as the mother grew up. However, this is just Li Ziming's imagination, and no one knows the specific situation. But Li Ziming was still unwilling to give up. If there was any way to save the cloned fighting wolf, it would be great. After all, it was a life, and she was Terry's mother. If she survived, Terry would become stronger. But at this moment, Li Ziming thought of the gourmet cells. If the gourmet cells in the cloned fighting wolf evolved, there might be a glimmer of hope for her to survive. However, most of the ingredients that Dolang eats are from the gourmet world. He can survive in the gourmet world for a while after transforming into a giant ape, but it is still too difficult to find suitable ingredients. Just when Li Ziming was about to give up, he suddenly thought of someone, Jiro, who was raised by Dolang. If he knew about Dolang's situation, he would probably help. It seems like it's time to use that bottle of wine as a favor. Chapter 47. Director Mansum, do you have Master Jiro's phone number? Yes, what are you going to do? Help. Hearing this, Director Mansum was puzzled, but he still told the number to Li Ziming, who wrote it down and called immediately. At this time in the Setsuno dining hall, Master Jiro and Grandma Setsuno were drinking fish fin wine while talking about how they met Li Ziming and others in the Puffer Whale Cave. Speaking of CAO appeared. They heard their cell phones ringing and frowned. This call would not normally come in, so they thought there must be something going on. Putting down glass, Master Jiro answered the phone, and Li Ziming's voice came over. Hello, Master Jiro. Hey, it's you, brother, how did you know my number? It was given to me by Director Mansum. The reason I called you is to ask you for a favor. Li Ziming then told him everything about Igo's cloning of the fighting wolf and its asexual reproduction, and said that the cloned fighting wolf's body was no longer in good condition and would probably die after giving birth to cubs. It needed healing ingredients or ingredients that could evolve the fighting wolf's food to be saved. Jiro, who was raised by fighting wolves, turned pale when he heard this. He was obviously very dissatisfied with Igo's cloning of fighting wolves. Although the fighting wolf was not from their species, it was also a member of the fighting wolf clan, so he naturally had to save it. Grandma Setsuno, who was standing by, also looked serious after hearing the content of the phone call. It might be a small matter for others, but for Jiro, it was a big deal. She then walked towards the kitchen. I see, I'll go in a minute. After hanging up the phone, Jiro directly anesthetized himself and awakened some of the gourmet cells in his body. He suddenly turned into a middle-aged man, but his hair was still white. At this moment, Grandma Jino also took out the healing ingredients and healing water from the kitchen. This thing can activate the gourmet cells. As for most of the injuries, it is very useful for the current clone fighting wolves. Kojiro, ego is getting too much. I'll talk to Xiaoai about it later. Yeah, thank you, Xiaojino-chan, I'll be back soon. After getting the healing water, Master Jiro left the Setsuno canteen and headed towards the first ecological area. At this moment in the Food Research Institute, after hearing Jiro's reply, Li Ziming also told Director Mansum. Now the cloned fighting wolf is saved, and it seems that there should be no accidents. But at this moment, Li Ziming suddenly remembered that regarding the Starjun GT robot, Bisho Kyokai would definitely send someone to snatch it. It's okay, it's okay. I've called Vice President Shigematsu over. With us here, no one from Bisho Kyokai can take the GT robot away. Li Ziming narrowed his eyes when he heard the name. As the Vice President, Shigematsu must be very capable. In the original work, he and Mansum forced back Gillenbach who came to recycle the GT robot. Obviously, he also has the ability to go to the food world. President Yulong is also very optimistic about him. But unfortunately, at some point, he was controlled by the dark chef Joaya and forced to join Neo, the third largest force in the world. He also ambushed Director Mansum in the Food Festival chapter, and then officially rebelled against Igo and left with Joaya. Later, he was hit by Toriko's infinite nailing fist in the food world, and was awakened and broke away from Joaya's control. However, at that time he remembered what he had done when he was controlled, and regretted it. With his strength, he could naturally get rid of the situation in front of him, but in order to no longer be controlled by Joaya, he was willing to be eaten by the beast in the food world. Although he didn't know when Shigematsu was controlled, Li Ziming still wanted to rescue him and get him out of Jiaoya's control. After all, most of the people in the Neo organization were basically controlled by Jiaoya. Back to the topic, now that the wolf fight has been resolved and Master Jiro will arrive soon, it's time to capture the gem meat. I just don't know if Starjun will come in person this time. Captain, now that we're almost there, it's time to capture the gem meat. Ah! I forgot. I was so overwhelmed by Dolang's pregnancy that I even forgot about Ligaru Mammoth. Li Ziming, Coco, Toriko, Sunny, Ling, Komatsu, go and capture the jewel meat quickly, don't let the Bisho Kyokai capture Ligaru-chan first. Brothers, let's get to work. Oh! After leaving the safe area of the Food Research Institute, several people also walked towards the depths of the first courtyard. According to Director Mansum, the Ligaru mammoths live in the Ligaru Plateau at an altitude of 5,000 meters, which is the place with the highest level of capture. However, most of the animals are eaten by the Ligaru mammoths, so the Ligaru Plateau is full of white bones. Li Ziming was originally worried that he would be robbed by food robbers as soon as he came out, but after searching around, he didn't find any. Now, all the points he should have earned were gone. Soon, they arrived at the black grassland and black carpet in the first ecological zone, where countless black grasses grew, and it was also the food source for the herbivores on the island. Black grass, plant capture level 1 or below. Just as they were about to move on, Toriko unexpectedly pulled up the black grass to taste it. Li Ziming was helpless when he saw this. This was Toriko's habit of eating wherever he went. Thanks to this habit, he discovered so many new ingredients. Since Toriko started eating, Li Ziming also pulled up the black grass to taste it. It must be said that although the capture level is low, it is also a rare ingredient for ordinary people. Although it looks black and tastes bitter, it tastes like the green fragrance and crispness of leeks, which is just like eating leeks. Toriko, there's cocoa mayonnaise over here. Nanny, here I come. Cocoa mayonnaise, natural food capture level 1 or below. Hearing Ling's voice, Li Ziming and Toriko also came over to taste it. It must be said that the black grass with the flavor of leeks, the bitterness of cocoa and the sour and sweet taste of mayonnaise was just right. It turned out that fresh vegetables were most suitable for making salads. Li Ziming simply collected some of these two ingredients, and after upgrading it into a small world, this became part of the ecosystem. But at this moment, the ground began to tremble, and the food animals not far away began to flee one after another. It was obvious that some ferocious beast was coming. When I stood up and looked, I saw that there were 5 stone men coming towards me. Fortunately, they were not the familiar stone men, otherwise they would have used R at the moment the clone war was activated, and they might have been taken away by a combo on the spot. Rock drum, giant crustacean capture level 27. Toriko immediately asked Komatsu to step back. This rock drum is a very powerful creature. Li Ziming was very excited when he saw this. This was top quality marble, which would be perfect for use when he built his mansion. With him on the scene, they could really become couriers now. All of you step back, I'll take care of this. I just happen to be short of materials for building a house, so come to my house and be the floor. The 5 rock drums felt provoked and immediately rushed towards Li Ziming, and like Saitama, they threw a normal punch at him. Seeing this, Li Ziming was not panicked at all. Facing the 5 huge fists coming towards him, he just said 4 words. Flying Shovel Return. Chapter 48. The fists of the 5 rock drums were instantly hit back by the flying shovels and they were directly knocked out by their own fists. Seeing this scene, everyone was stunned, especially Sunny. But Li Ziming didn't care about that. After swallowing Sunny's hair magic, he had wanted to do it like this for a long time. It must be said that the feeling of this controlled trigger is very good. Although the rock drum was knocked away, only the outer shell was damaged. Seeing this, Li Ziming immediately rushed up and pressed the rock drum to the ground and rubbed it while the opponent was still asleep. In a short while, this group of little Karami were killed by Li Ziming, and he successfully got a pentakill. Defeat Rock Drum X5, get 135 points. Looking at the points received, Li Ziming then put the rock drums into the system backpack, so that he could eat the meat later and make them into furniture and floors. Li Ziming returned to the group, and Sunny raised his own questions upon seeing this. What exactly are your abilities? Why did you hit back at my flying tackle? These are all from my role as the food demon. I have many abilities. There is nothing I can't do, except what you can't imagine. Tisk, if you don't want to say it, forget it. Li Ziming was very helpless. What he said was indeed right, even though they were swallowed up later, as long as the points were enough, he could buy all their skills, which would be enough for his current use. Now that the rock drum is no longer blocking the way, everyone is ready to continue on their journey, but the only difference is which way to go, the battle forest or the mushroom forest. For a moment, several people were having difficulty making a decision, but at this moment, everyone's eyes turned to Coco. Coco looked at their eyes and knew that it was time for her to take action. She immediately observed everyone's electromagnetic waves and found that it would be better to go to the mushroom forest. Let's go to the mushroom forest. Something is wrong in the battle forest. It seems like something has broken in. After hearing this, the others all headed towards the mushroom forest. Only Li Ziming fell into deep thought. According to the original novel, it should be the people of Bishokyukai who tamed the Nilong in the battle forest. Now that's good. He originally felt like something was missing, and now it seems that he can take Nilong away. However, Nilong is a traitor and he will recognize whoever is stronger as his master. But according to Terry's situation at the time, he may have seen his potential. Following the crowd, not long after, they arrived at this mushroom world. This area was full of all kinds of mushrooms, including giant white-stalked and red umbrellaed mushrooms, small green mushrooms, and matsutake mushrooms. There were all kinds of mushrooms. Of course, in addition to mushrooms, there are also companion beasts, octopuses of various flavors, including vinegar octopus, soy sauce octopus, spicy sauce octopus, and mustard sauce octopus. There is nothing that is not available in this mushroom area, except what you can't think of. After everyone came here, Toriko's foodie attribute exploded. He just picked all kinds of mushrooms and started eating them. There was no other way, his poison resistance was just so awesome. Helplessly, they could only rest here. Li Ziming also took out the grill and had a simple meal here. By the way, he asked Sunny to use the trigger to catch some octopus with sauce. No, these octopuses are so ugly, I don't want to eat them. Puffer whale please. How about these adult octopuses in sauce? Seeing Sunny's expression change so quickly, several people laughed instantly. It was the first time they saw Sunny like this. Li Ziming saw this and took out a puffer whale from the system backpack and gave it to Komatsu. After Komatsu took it, he also took out his kitchen knife and began to dissect it. With his previous experience, he was much faster this time and removed the poison sac in no time. The puffer whale instantly turned golden yellow, and Sunny was stunned for a moment. How beautiful! As Komatsu quickly cut the knife, the puffer whale was instantly made into sashimi and placed on the plate. When Sunny saw it, his original disregard for Komatsu's ordinary dress disappeared. Li Ziming also dissected the rock drum at this moment. Looking at the crystal clear meat hidden under its shell, it should be delicious, but it feels a bit fat and maybe a bit greasy. Fortunately, there are so many sauces and octopus, and it should be good together. Not long after After their preparation, the fish fin wine, sashimi, grilled matsutake mushrooms, and grilled rock drum meat were ready, and everyone began to eat, savoring this unique delicacy. No one competed with Sunny for the sashimi. Seeing his surprised look while eating, it seemed that he liked it very much. It was a pity that he had already ordered the fish dish, otherwise he would definitely have ordered puffer whale as the fish dish. Li Ziming also tried the roasted cream matsutake. It must be said that the light cream flavor, coupled with the unique aroma of the matsutake, after being roasted and then drizzled with octopus soy sauce, not only enhanced the taste but also enriched the aroma. As for the grilled rock drum meat, it was also very good. It melted in the mouth the moment it entered, and the rich gravy poured into the mouth all at once. Although it was very delicious, it felt a bit greasy after eating too much. Li Ziming felt that he could refine the oil from the rock drum meat later, and it would be good to stir-fry it with vegetables. As everyone was eating, the ground suddenly began to shake, as if something huge was approaching. Li Ziming immediately flew up to check, and it turned out to be Xiao Ligara-chan. Ligara Mammoth Cub, Mammalian Capture Level 20. Now he would know why Sunny captured the Ligara Mammoth Cub as soon as he arrived on the island. It turned out that the cub had come down the mountain to play, and was therefore captured by Sunny. Its mother must have searched the entire Ligara plain but found no trace of it, so she jumped down the mountain to look for her son. Li Ziming told everyone about the situation, then he flew towards the Ligara mammoth and directly used the trigger to press its acupoints. Little Ligara was instantly fixed in place. Capture Xiao Ligara-chan and gain 20 points. When everyone rushed over, they were shocked when they saw the Ligara mammoth in front of them. On the one hand, Li Ziming had directly pressed its acupoints, and on the other hand, the Ligara mammoth was so huge. We have successfully captured the Ligara mammoth. Now we have the gem meat. No, Sunny, it's just a cub. This is actually a cub. How big would a real Ligara mammoth be? For a moment, everyone was shocked by Li Ziming's words. The mammoth in front of them that was more than 10 stories tall was actually just a cub. How tall would a full-grown Ligara mammoth be? At this moment, Li Ziming suddenly found a familiar figure, so he picked up Xiao Ligara-chan and threw him towards Sunny. You guys go back first and ask Director Mansum to check if there is any gem meat, and give it a physical examination. What about you? A friend came to visit me, I'm going to meet him. Chapter 49. Seeing everyone returning the way they came, Li Ziming felt relieved. He thought that Master Jiro should be here soon and Terry should be born soon. Although I don't know if the GT robots will attack the clone fighting wolves again, with Master Jiro around, there shouldn't be any accidents. Come out. Let me see you. A masked man appeared in front of Li Ziming. As expected, this man was Bishokyukai's deputy chef, Star Jun. Achieve Gold Achievement, Toriko's brother whom he has never met. Achievement Reward, 1000 points. Yo, Star Jun, you actually came here in person this time. You call me, and I will come. Isn't this what you want? Then Star Jun asked Li Ziming nervously, now, tell me what you know about my life experience and what ingredients I am looking for. Li Ziming looked at the slightly anxious Star Jun, with the corners of his mouth slightly raised, and told him not to be anxious, as he still wanted to see the strength of Bishokyukai's deputy chef. You are not my opponent right now. I'll tell you the secret of your origin after the fight. As you wish. As soon as he finished speaking, Star Jun rushed over and punched Li Ziming directly, knocking him out. At this time, he already had the strength to enter the world of gourmet food, and it was easy for him to deal with a capture level of 50 or 60. Upon seeing this, Li Ziming immediately used the flying dance technique to stabilize his body, and immediately focused his mind. Then he rushed towards Star Jun and punched him. Upon seeing this, Star Jun also punched him. The next second, their fists collided instantly, but who would have thought that this time, it was Star Jun who was knocked away. It was a nail punch. Li Ziming used Toriko's nail punch, and it was 30 consecutive nail punches. The excited Li Ziming immediately chased after him and launched a series of combos at Star Jun, but he took them all and immediately counterattacked when the opportunity arose. The two of them instantly wrestled with each other, and it was obvious that they were very excited. Sometimes Star Jun had the upper hand and beat Li Ziming so hard that he couldn't move. Sometimes Li Ziming seized the opportunity and beat Star Jun so hard that he couldn't fight back. Everything around them began to fall apart during the fight between the two. Soon, Li Ziming became more and more excited as the fight went on. He felt the Saiyan blood in his body boiling. This was a duel between strong men, and this was the fight he wanted. He hadn't fought so thoroughly in a long time, and he had it all thanks to Star Jun. The two men seized the opportunity and punched each other in the face. They were both knocked flying, but quickly stood up again. However, Li Ziming's body was covered with scars, while Star Jun's clothes were only a little torn, and even his mask was not broken. As expected of Bisho Kyokai's deputy head chef, he's really strong. You are not bad, but there is still a lot of room for improvement. Li Ziming saw that Star Jun did not have many injuries, while he himself was covered with scars. It was obvious who was stronger and who was weaker. After all, Star Jun already has the ability to go to the food world. Whether it is the energy in their bodies or their fighting skills, they are several times stronger than himself. When he fights with Star Jun, he is mostly feeding himself moves. Although he wanted to call a truce and then tell him his life story, at this moment there was a thought in his body telling Li Ziming not to give up. Faced with this situation, Li Ziming decided to continue, but in order to fight Star Jun more thoroughly, he chose to cheat. I looked at my current score, which had reached 20,639. It was obviously time to learn that move. Master System, by the Kaioken. Minus 10,000 points obtain Kaioken Kaioen, a move created by the North King Kai in the Dragon Ball world. It can increase one's body's strength, speed, attack power, defense power, etc. in a short period of time. The strength increases from 2 times. The higher the multiple, the higher the demand on the body. If it exceeds the range that the body can bear, the body will fall apart. In a flash, Li Ziming learned how to use King Ken. Now he had the cheat. With King Ken, his strength would be greatly improved. At the same time, he also had a place in this world. 10 times the size of the Saiyan giant ape and the unlimited Kaioken, combined together, who can be his opponent? The little Star Jun can easily defeat him. At this moment, Star Jun instantly felt that Li Ziming had changed, but he didn't know what was going on. Was it self-cannibalism or something else? His spirit instantly tensed up. Li Ziming looked at him and smiled at him. Star Jun, thank you for letting me fight so hard. In return, I will do my best. Kaioken. As Li Ziming used the Kaioken, red energy waves appeared on his body. Although his strength doubled, the load on his body was also very great. However, he felt that he could still hold on. After using the 3x and 4x Kaioken, Li Ziming discovered his limits. I checked my own fighting power. After eating various delicacies such as pufferfish and whale, it has increased to 6,000. After 4 times Kaioken, it directly reached 24,000. Converted into capture level, it is almost 240. With a flash, Li Ziming arrived in front of Star Jun and punched his mask. Star Jun was blown away. When he stood up again, the mask had been broken and Star Jun's true face was revealed. Noticing the change in Li Ziming, he also started to act seriously. A one-eyed demon appeared behind Star Jun. Seeing this, Li Ziming also released his own gourmet demon, the Saiyan giant ape. In the blink of an eye, the two of them started wrestling with each other. Unlike the last feeding move, Star Jun used 100% of his strength. For a moment, the two of them were evenly matched, punching each other fiercely. But as they fought louder and louder, Star Jun was surprised to find that Li Ziming was becoming stronger and stronger. The aura of the gourmet demon was also getting stronger, while his own strength was constantly declining. The reason was that the devouring nature of the Saiyan giant ape was activated, and through the fight between the two, it began to devour the one-eyed demon. Seeing this, Star Jun was naturally unwilling to be defeated like this, so they directly kept a distance, controlled the fire, and used flame rapid shot towards Li Ziming. A column of fire instantly rushed towards him. Seeing this situation, Li Ziming was very excited. In the Kaioken state, he would not lose at all, so he started directly with the Qigong wave. The next second, the two forces collided with each other and then cancelled each other out. Neither gave in to the other, and it was obvious that both wanted to decide the outcome of the battle through this move. Soon the two were in a stalemate again. Li Ziming gritted his teeth and, regardless of his body not being able to hold on any longer, directly activated the 5x Kaioken. Star Jun's pillar of fire was instantly defeated, and the energy wave directly hit his body, knocking him away. Defeat Star Jun and get 245 points. When Li Ziming saw the system prompt, he realized that he had defeated Star Jun. He walked over and saw that Starjun had fallen into a coma. As soon as he relaxed, the after effects of Kaioken came back and he sat down on the ground exhausted. Chapter 50. When Starjun woke up from his coma, he found himself in a cave. Li Ziming, who had defeated him, was making barbecue at the cave entrance not far away. Li Ziming saw this and called him over, then handed Starjun a skewer of rock drum barbecue, letting him recover a little before talking about other things. After hearing this, Starjun also took the barbecue and started eating. After taking a bite, his eyes lit up and then he devoured it with relish. It was quite delicious. After the two men finished eating the rock drum, their injuries were almost recovered, except that they still lacked a lot of energy in their bodies. But they could still cope with some situations. Now that the fight is over, tell me what you know about the mystery of my life. Li Ziming looked at Starjun, who looked serious, then said that this might be a bit shocking and asked him to be mentally prepared. Well, would you believe me if I said your father is Acacia and your mother is Flozer? It's impossible, absolutely impossible. You must be kidding me. Acacia lived hundreds of years ago. How could I be their child? Seeing Starjun standing up instantly, Li Ziming quickly comforted him and swore that what he said was true without any falsehood, and then told him what he knew. You know God? Of course I know, Acacia's main course. Back then, people only knew that Acacia and his wife Froze cooked God and calmed the war, but the price was that Froze was on the verge of death. And Acacia's third disciple, your boss Midora, went to capture the healing water in order to save her, but the beast guarding the water was too powerful, and he was on the verge of death when he returned. Froze naturally couldn't bear to watch Midora die, so he dragged his severely injured body and used the last of his divine cooking techniques to save Midora, but she herself became more seriously injured and died in front of him. When Starjun heard these words, he was shocked by boss's experience and at the same time very confused. Froze died hundreds of years ago, so how was he born? He looked at him with this question in mind. Li Ziming naturally understood Starjun's doubts, so he told him not to worry and then talked about him. After Froze became pregnant, she noticed something was wrong with Acacia, so she hid her pregnancy. I found an opportunity and hid them in the sea of food spirits along with hundreds of years of nutrients and food luck. One of the children was you, Starjun. Hearing this, Starjun was stunned. He had never thought that his life experience was so bizarre. Although he did not agree, there was a voice in his heart saying that this was the fact. However, he immediately caught a point in Li Ziming's words. What do you mean one of the kids? Oh, Frozer is pregnant with twins, and you have a brother. Who is he? Upon hearing that he had a younger brother, Starjun was stunned again. He excitedly came to Li Ziming and asked who his younger brother was whom he had never met. Li Ziming quickly calmed him down upon seeing this, and after letting Starjun sit down quietly, he slowly said his brother's name, Toriko. Your brother is Toriko from the 4 heavenly kings of gourmet food. Starjun, who got the answer, was in disbelief. To be honest, he couldn't tell whether what Li Ziming said was true or false at the moment, but he felt in his heart that he was telling the truth. He was really the child of Acacia and Froze, and he also had a younger brother named Toriko. Seeing that Starjun was stunned again, Li Ziming knew that he was in the middle of a brainstorming session, so he gave him a way to judge whether something was true or false. You can go back and ask your boss to see if that was the case at the time. Then try to reveal your identity, I think he will be very excited. After hearing this, Starjun thought for a while and then said, I will. Seeing that Starjun had calmed down, Li Ziming was thinking whether he should drop another bombshell and tell Starjun that his parents were not dead yet and that Froze's body was occupied. However, looking at his current situation, he decided to wait until Starjun and Toriko recognized each other, which should not take long. Why don't you go see Toriko and see what your brother looks like? No need, I know what he looks like. Li Ziming found that when they talked about Toriko, Starjun actually smiled. It seemed that he had already confirmed in his heart that Toriko was indeed his younger brother. But at this moment, he suddenly thought of this commission, which is to capture the gem meat. Now that it has deviated from the original work, Starjun still came in real form. I think one part is to see him, and the other part is for the gem meat. Who else but you, Bishokyukai, came here to capture the jewel meat? I am the only one who came in person, the others are all new GT robots. Well, it's probably those familiar extras. I guess they have also landed on the island and started looking for the Ligera mammoth. Now that I have finished talking to Starjun here, I will tell him something else next time we meet. Now it's time to capture the gem meat. Li Ziming stood up, called for the somersault cloud, jumped and sat on it, then looked at Starjun and said. Do you still want this gem meat? If you do, I'll give you some. No, I'll be back in a minute, but they may continue. Okay, then go back and find your boss to confirm it first. I'll give you some more information when you and Toriko recognize each other. Without waiting for Starjun to react, the somersault cloud took off and flew towards the Ligera plateau. Starjun, who was left behind with a frown on his brow, thought for a while and then walked towards the outside of the first ecological zone. At this moment, Li Ziming was eating the devil snake burger and drinking the rainbow fruit to quickly replenish his energy. As his strength increased, he could store more energy, but there was obviously still a big gap before he could become a full-fledged eater. However, he felt that it would not be long before he could return to Shilin Temple. Before long, the somersault cloud took him to the foot of the Ligera plateau. Flying upwards, he could see a cliff monster inside the wall. It looked like venom, and no one knew who imitated whom. Cliff monster, mammalian capture level 30. Looking at the cliff monsters waking up in the wall, Li Ziming could defeat them and gain points, but there was no need to do so. They could not be eaten, and their personality was that they would not attack others unless they were offended. As long as they were not provoked, they would not attack. Continuing to fly upwards, there was no gravel and no Ligera mammoths landed, and Li Ziming flew smoothly to the 5,000 meter Ligera plain. What meets the eye is a ground full of white bones and the corpses of various animals. It is a horrific sight, as shocking and horrifying as hell on earth. I think these were all wild beasts that originally lived in the Ligera plain. They were all sucked in by the Ligera mammoth's left nose and out with the right nose. They were fine when they went in, but had turned into white bones when they came out. Li Ziming explored deep into the Ligera plain. Not long after, he saw a wall that was almost 1,000 meters high. When he flew up to it, he realized what kind of wall was this. It was the parent of Little Ligeru. Ligera mammoth, mammalian capture level 48. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.